Welcome, folks.
How's it going?
Now, for some of you folks who tuned in for the start of the pre-show, I hope you like the new pre-show that we did put together. This man here, Caradwin, did the hard lifting and grunting for that part.
Good morning.
Yeah,
Hello,
this
Mr.
me.
Yeah. So how are you folks doing? Good thing we're doing this weekend, not last
weekend.
It was 109 outside.
Well, about 40+% humidity.
Yeah. Well, it was not too good unless, of course, you want to do sous vide for yourself. Then you can cook up very nicely.
Yeah.
So, you folks may have noticed we have a new pre-show. Just not any major stuff there. Just trying to keep it mixed up and keeping it happy. Let us know what you think. In the meantime, then, that's Baron. I'm not.
Yes.
He does the art, and I do on my little piano.
And see, when I can talk to you guys, I can draw, and this guy over here, he's the one who's behind the scenes making all sure technology don't fall down on me.
I mash buttons.
That's right. He's very good at mashing buttons.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, he mashes pencils. So speaking of things that need to be mashed up, like his brain, we open the show with say Baron's most important implement. No, it's not his pencil. It's his brain lubricant.
That's right. You need inspiration.
So we are going to make a cocktail called the Madras. Would you be so kind as to pass the reaction vessel?
There you are.
And the main reactant, please.
All right. Here's the fuel rod, sir.
There we go. Now, the Madras, I'm going to put this right over here, is it's a sort of a variant on a screwdriver. It is, there we go. It is essentially a screwdriver, but you add in cranberry juice as well as orange juice.
Yep.
So what we're going to do, since this is nice and simple to make.
No. 1,000 meters.
There you go. The 1,000-meter stare. I saw his shirt. So in we go. You don't get away. In we go. All right, lots of ice. Make sure it's fresh ice because ice that's been in your freezer for a while tends to accumulate smells. Kind of like I do when I'm in the freezer for a while. All right, so we now need the reactant. This is vodka. If you're looking for an inexpensive, let's do this. There we go. If you're looking for an inexpensive vodka that's still pretty good, New Amsterdam's all right. So 1 shot or 1 shot equivalent of vodka.
Funk. Let me pass that over. Got your way here.
Okay, don't drink it all.
No, I'm not Boris.
About the same amount of orange juice. The oranges in my backyard are out of season, so. And then 2 shots or equivalent of cranberry juice. Make sure it's cranberry juice, not cranberry cocktail, because this way it's it's not sweetened. The ingredients should say ingredients cranberry juice and nothing else. Shuka. Thump. There we go. Isn't that pretty?
And this takes care of my vitamin C for the day.
Oh yeah. Look at that. Ain't that gorgeous? And then we'll stir it up. And then, Baron, bon appetit.
I shall.
Yeah. There you go. There's your guys.
Nice and tart.
There you go. Yeah, and if you like it a little bit sweeter, you can always add either more orange juice or
some simple syrup,
which we have over there if you prefer. But if you like it tart,
could just make a tiny bit of simple syrup.
Okay. Reach.
I can do this.
Yep, there we go. Simple syrup is it's super easy to make. Boil 1 cup of water, throw in 1 cup of sugar, let it cool.
Yep.
And you just go bloop, about that much, not too much. There you go.
Hey, Colonel Yale. Glad you could join us.
It's very, very dense. It goes right to the bottom.
And
the magic chopstick of stirring. Since I don't have one of those long, skinny bar spoons. Let's see what you think about that.
Better balance to it. That definitely works good. All right.
Okay, so you're going to do something a little bit different tonight, but we're going to get to that in a moment. First thing we need to find out is what you've done in the past.
Yeah. Now, I have a very large piece that is under production right now. If you guys have been following me on Twitter, you know, up to like end of last week, I was posting regulars about it.
Yeah. So,
It just got a little bit hot in the studio, and I did not want to run the risk of getting sweat on the picture because it really does cause bad things for color pencil drawing. So I kind of held off. I'm going to finish it out this week, but in the meantime, I pumped out a whole bunch of Patreon rewards and other stuff. That's what you're going to see now.
Alrighty. So first thing first.
That's right here.
This young lady.
Yeah, now this was just something I hammered out a couple nights ago. She's Captain Celiano, I think that's supposed to pronounce her name.
Kailana, yeah.
Carlano. She is a character from the upcoming MLP movie. And I took one look at her and I said, boy, there's going to be fan art of her. So I went checking around. And there wasn't any fan art. So I said, you know what?
We have to fix this.
I'm going to fix this. So I did. And then Mike Vogel liked it. And he's executive producer on the movie.
You're going to have to send it to
Yeah.
or send something like that to him.
Yes, I will.
All right. So here's something that's woohoo, because everybody likes the big Macintosh get in the way.
Yes, and this was just a piece once again. Hot as all get out, and that's probably what inspired me to do this piece. And I can imagine AJ after a hard day of doing the chores, that that's what she'd be doing. It's BaronEngel. All one word. We'll put up in the end. And actually, if you look at my in the screen there, I think you should actually have that information there. But we can put it up for you.
Yeah, it's also it's also in the link right below the video window. So
Thank you, Cold Silver.
Perfect. All right, let's see what else we got. You've been drawing bugs lately.
Yeah, I've been drawing some bugs.
Yeah, so let's start off with a bad bug. Where is the bad bug? There's the bad bug.
Once again, hey, it's summertime, and what you want to do is hang around the pool. And I've got a feeling that, Queen Chrysalis probably didn't keep all of the Changeling's treasury at her secret headquarters. She strikes me as the kind who would have an offshore bank account somewhere.
Yeah.
So she may no longer be the queen, but she probably got away with most of the money.
Cayman Islands.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, you got bad bugs. You got good bugs.
And this is a Patreon reward for Syrup. And by the way, sir, just so you know, if you're looking at this, you're going, hey, there's no wing veining on the one wing. That's because I scanned it, realized, oh, crap, I need to fix that. Your piece actually has the veining on all the wings.
Okay, folks, we now have the duel. Good bug versus bad bug.
Yes. Who shall win?
1, 2, 3, fight. Okay, just leave that up for a moment there.
Yeah. Now, also, too, for some of you who are patrons on Patreon, you're probably going, but there's some other bug stuff you've been working on. And that's right. But you got to be a patron to see that stuff.
Yep.
$1 a month, and you can see the little project I've been getting back to working on.
All the good stuff.
Right. Oh, and Corwin, we're not going to be showing your Patreon reward tonight. We couldn't stick enough Big Mac stickers on it to basically make it all remotely close for all family.
It would be just so. Hey, I didn't see that yet. I don't think. Or is it your Patreon?
It's
Like, I haven't looked today.
It's on DeviantArt.
Oh, that one. Okay.
That one. Yeah, that one.
Hey, that one. Yeah. There you
Let's
go.
put just one gigantic Big Mac sticker over the entire picture. That way.
There you go. All right. So here we have. For those of you who's running very well, Octavia, and I am wearing this outfit to my performance at your Magic Festival because it's called cosplay. It's popular with the young ponies. I'm going to have teenagers hitting on me. You won't notice them because I'm going to be hitting on you all the whole time. Oh, thanks, Vinyl. No problem. Yeah, again, Vinyl's always willing to be
very helpful pony. Very helpful pony. And that was just something that popped in my head about the same time I was visioning Applejack sitting in the bathtub. So I sketched that up, and that and Applejack have basically evaporated like water on the sidewalk that day. I never even got around to think about putting that up in the store. I was like, bam, okay, sold.
All right, this looks like another Patreon reward.
No, it's actually a commission.
Oh, okay.
For I don't think he's in the stream tonight. Todd Kuhn has contacted me. He's having me do a series of black and white drawings of his one of his characters, and this is kind of establishing, getting a good feeling for the. We'll be mentioning about that Lord Jaguar in just a moment. And you're getting the. And so this is kind of like the establishing one, make sure I've got the character right, because the other drawings are going to be a little more complicated, and I want to make sure that I've got things pointing in the right direction before I start putting clothing and stuff like that all over.
And here we have. I wonder if Mr. Clear Sky's brains have finished boiling yet.
It's definitely probably carbonating some hormones. Another Patreon reward, and Clear Skies wanted me to do a drawing of Octavia and Vinyl Scratch. I get the impression he's very fond of those two. And he wanted his character, Clear Sky, but he wanted Clear Sky to be just a full-fledged pony. And we both are of the opinion that, ponies are, not full-size pony horses. They're much more like miniature horses. So that'd be about the right size on the sofa. And he seems to be quite happy.
So, this one comes under the category of, oh my.
Yeah, I kind of threw this one together last night, and it was kind of fun because I put in the file with all the images for today's stream and just sent it off to Caradwin here and didn't tell him that this was going to be in there.
This is one of my favorite characters. I think he's just the cutest thing. And let's see, and we've done that one. We'll skip that one save that one for last.
Okay.
A slightly different theme. There's somebody that looks slightly annoyed.
Yeah, now once again, I'm working through some of Clear Sky's Patreon reward stuff that I need to get done for him. So he's kind of got a double backer. Besides that, this also clears out some stuff, so I can get information from him. I'm back at BronyCon for future rewards.
Yeah, actually, Hyphen, that's something I commented to Baron. It's like, is that I like that he does non-standard body types as well as the pinup body types. It makes them more like real people, as it were. All right, and this one's just a little bit more unreal.
Yeah, Rubber Vixen, I don't see her in the chat.
Well, let's see. We have to scroll down because it's alphabetical.
Alphabetical?
Yeah,
not here yet.
Yeah, okay, so Head Exploding comes later.
Right. And this was actually another Patreon reward from a while ago, and I just came to this realization that, whoops, I don't know if I ever sent this to her. So I sent it to her.
There you go. Got to make sure the Head Exploding happens.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's paying.
All right, so speaking of Head Exploding, everybody braced? 1, 2, 3. Boosh.
Another Patreon reward. And this person, basically, they wanted Rosemary, and Rosemary is the perfect summertime girl. So, I mean...
They say structural pompadour can hold about 2 gallons.
Yes. And, this is how she makes a living, actually. She's a professional swimsuit model. Between modeling that and modeling lingerie, that's how she pulls out a paycheck. Yeah. And she pulls out a pretty good one, actually.
I can definitely imagine so. Actually, you don't need to imagine. All right. So before we go any further, let's see. Oh, where'd it go? Where'd it go? That's right. I have to add that back.
Yeah.
Well, we'll do it in the drawing set.
Yes.
All right.
Now, also, a couple things I want to let people know. One, I have purchased my plane tickets for BronyCon, so I will be there. I will be at Clear Sky's Roan table, and I'll be very excited to meet folks and talk to them and, shake folks' hands and whatnot. The other thing is that yesterday we got accepted into the Crunchyroll Expo. So Smudge Marks Engel works at the end of August. August is going to be a very busy month for me.
It is.
At the Santa Clara Convention Center. I, along with my wife, Smudge, we are going to be in the Artist Alley, basically selling our wares and showing off our stuff. So if you happen to be in that neck of the woods, love to see you.
Yeah, Crunchyroll, by the way, for folks who don't know about it, is a subscription anime, all the time channel. It's like $7 a month or something like that. All the anime you can stand.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Anything else? Oh yes, you're going to be doing something a little bit different tonight. Usually Baron does mostly the black and white Patreon reward sketches, but now he's doing something called artist trading cards.
Right, ATCs.
Tell us about ATCs.
ATCs are a relatively new concept. They got started in 1997. A Swiss artist, and he wanted to basically create a method by which...
See you later, shotgun.
Yep. By which artists could basically... trade artwork with each other because, we're artists. We don't have a lot of money usually. We'll worry about that in a moment, Sarah.
Yeah, we'll get that on the drawing thing.
Right. But it was a chance to basically create small works of art, nothing meant to be a masterpiece or anything like that. And you could give one to your buddy, and your buddy could give you one. And that's an important thing about artist trading cards. You either trade them or you give them as gifts. You do not sell them. That's basically very much against the spirit of the whole concept. So what I'm going to be doing tonight is I'm going to be showing you how to do artist trading cards. They're rather fun. They're rather small. You can crank them out pretty quick. And I'm going to throw something out right now to everybody in the audience. If you are going to BronyCon and you make an artist trading card and put some effort into it. I mean, don't sneeze something out. But if you make an artist trading card, and they're not that hard. 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches, basically the size of a baseball trading card.
Well, that's the exact size of a playing card.
Mm-hmm. You make up an artist trading card, and I say you put some effort into it. You come to the table at the Roan table. Clear Skies is going to be running. You bring an artist trading card, and I'll trade you an artist trading card. Sound fair?
Sounds good to me.
All right then.
Yeah, I might take up a pencil again.
Yeah, well, that's part.
I won't be there. Never mind.
It's part of the reason to encourage folks is
Yeah.
I want to get folks, to actually start doing art and everything. So we're gonna switch over to this here and get things going.
Wait. There we go.
Roll in here, and I should have this in the. We have to be kind of a little bit careful. We had to place this up with the camera focus because as you can see here, this is pretty small.
Well, again, it's the exact size of a regular playing card.
Yep. So we're going to be going into, working on this and everything.
Going in tight, going in colorful.
Yes, we are. Okay, I think we are going to at least need to open the door.
Yeah, it is a little bit warmer here. We may have to put on the air conditioner because it's about 85 in the room right now. So,
right.
All right, so I'm going to put this on right here.
Okay.
And actually, let's do our duty first here real quick.
Yes.
And our duty and our thanks go to University Art, which is a high-end art and framing store in San Jose, Redwood City, and Sacramento, California. Baron worked there for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
High-end art supplies, excellent art instruction and workshops, and a museum-quality framing. You saw the piece of art that he did that he brought last time for me. Tantabus picture, having that framed at University Art because I won't have anybody else do it. So,
in fact, we'll probably have it available for the next stream to show folks.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we'll have some interesting stuff to talk about next stream too. We'll get to that a little bit later
as the evening goes on.
But yes, if you need framing done, or if you need the good quality art supplies, University Art has been kind enough to be Baron's sponsor, so we want to say thank you to them.
Mm-hmm.
Once in a while, they poke their noses in here and see how we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Mike.
Hey there.
Hi, Jeff.
Yes. Hi, Jaya. I understand she occasionally maybe tunes in too now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and we'll be finding out more about Jaya shortly because.
Yes.
Just about all of the employees at University are themselves artists. That's one reason why they are so knowledgeable. And Jaya's going to have something interesting to show us.
Yep, she's going to be she's an exhibiting artist herself. She's an instructor, and she's a very good friend. And she's going to be doing something really, really awesome in the future. Alrighty, so we're going to crank up some cool.
Yep.
And I'll get started here. So. ATC is a very small area, so you've got to be kind of careful on how you select stuff. You can't go and get, some grand epic landscape because you're not going to fit it on there.
Right.
And
Character portraits and things like that are fairly common.
Busts are very, very common because you can focus in on the face and everything like that. And that's what I'm going to do right here. So we're going to...
I'm going to fire up the big throbbing motors.
Yes. So you'll probably hear a deep rumble. That's him kicking in the auxiliary generators, so to speak.
There we go.
Oh, that's better.
Crikey.
Oh,
I work for an Australian company. Our CEO is Australian. My boss is Australian. So I get to do the accent with impunity.
Diesel, the size of an ATC is 3.5 inches by 2.5 inches. So like I say, we're working in a pretty small piece of real estate here.
Yep. So your common business card is 2 by 3.5. This is 2.5 by 3.5, which is exactly the size of it. Yeah, it is a little bit bright, isn't it? All right, let's see what we can do about that. We go to this thing that says drawing cam.
See, this is one of the beauties. I can just keep drawing while Caradwin here goes and deals with tech problems. If I was doing this entire circus myself, I'd have to stop and play with the camera.
All right, let's turn down exposure.
No,
that's too much.
I want to increase exposure. I'm trying to get as much exposure as possible.
Let's actually turn down the gain. Let's see how that works out. We want to get the color, right, because he's going to be doing color work. Oh, actually, that looks pretty good. It's a little dark, but it's very saturated, and we like saturated. These are ponies. Ponies are saturated.
Well, I might not be doing all ponies tonight, but for right now, yes, we're doing.
Applejack exposed.
We're doing the best pony.
Yeah.
By
the way, on the spoilers, all American episodes are okay. Australian episodes are not. Please, please, please do not spoil the 2 recently broadcast Australian episodes.
No matter how much feels you have for them.
Right. Yeah. Say the feels are best when they hit you by surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, but things like talking about Celestia's night off, the
yes.
real problems. Yeah, that is just fine. Yep. So,
all right, that's about all I'm going to put in for this. Like I say, we're working pretty fast and loose here. I don't want to.
Right. Well, that's the other point of the artist trading cards is that they are something that artists can do in belt out in half an hour.
Yeah, that's my goal. I'm going to try to see if I can finish this in half an hour. I'll be able to do that better.
And see if you can do like 2 per.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if I'm going to have these things to be able to give the people, I need to have some of these done. And I got a full envelope full of pre-cut cards I've made for myself.
See if we can go through them all. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not going to go through all those tonight.
Yeah.
My hand would explode. And that wouldn't be pretty. All right. And so
Deathlight. Mr. Baron has been drawing since he was 2 years old. That makes him an artist of 50 years experience.
I'm just gonna go in here
because he's a youngin.
That's right. I'm just a youngin.
Yeah, there you go.
What was that?
Yeah, I like that episode. I never thought that Luna would take a fire axe to Celestia. Yeah, it's like the firing came the other way. Yeah. There we go. I will tune my guitar and torture you all.
They would be let's put that around here. Get to give it on that line. Okay, so that's my orange for the body. Make sure I set that right back in the target. So we're right on mark. Excellent. Let's go to brown. Brown. Blin. I didn't bring brown.
Oi, Blin.
Oi, Blin.
Guess who's discovered life of Boris?
You go with black. Go with black instead.
Yeah. Well, blat is a very dirty word.
Yes, that's why I said Blin.
No pancakes.
Yes. Yep, green eyes. Okay. I do have green. Okay. Before I end up making her cross-eyed, I think I'm actually going to set in my pupils. And to do that, I kind of just make sure where my circle goes up to there. Draw a crosshair in the middle. And that
There we go.
gets me. Make sure my head's not intruding into the camera.
You are just fine.
Alright, there we go. Okay, now we know where Best Pony's eyeballs are going. Alright, I don't have the brown with me, so I can't do that. I'll do this in a black outline instead. We'll start slapping some marker down, and we'll start slapping some color down, and we'll get this happening.
Indeed.
I'm going to be doing a technique for folks that are new to the stream where I'm going to be applying colored pencil, and then I'm going to apply a little bit of odorless mineral spirits, or OMS, to the surface, and that's going to cause the colored pencil to blend, wax basically dissolving.
There we go. Space music. Nothing impossible. Says AJ's Best Pony just 10 minutes ago. Has to check eye color. Baron exposed.
When you're flying fast, it's amazing the mistakes you can make.
Yeah.
Measure twice, cut once. Because you guys would really rib me if I got Best Pony's eyes wrong.
Yep. Just remember, design with computer, measure with yardstick, cut with axe.
Yep. And we need some pink for her tongue. No, not purple, we need pink. And I'm just using Pigment Microns. These are a disposable technical pen. They're waterproof. They're also solvent proof, which is quite handy. What I'm going to be doing here in just a little bit. All right. Now, let's see here. If we're doing that, use that for the top part. Okay. Fortunately, it's nice and warm, so I can go in and start erasing right away. I want to clear out as much of this as I can.
That's right. We're in the rest of that.
All right.
F. G. C.
Yeah, I'm getting pretty sloppy and I'm flying pretty fast here. Like I say, this is an artist trading card. You're not trying to create a masterpiece here.
Yep. Wouldn't space music require a theremin? The ozone might get a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
Although nowadays there are electronic theremins that instead of using that big, electromagnetic field that you stick your hand into and change the capacitance, they use just infrared detectors. Basically an infrared LED, and you put your hand on, you go. Roland makes an electronic theremin.
All right. Let's clear up that around her lip because she's pretty light colored, so I don't want to have any graphite if I can avoid it, because that could possibly end up staining the colors. And once a color is underneath the colored pencil or marker, you're not doing bodily squat about it. It's stuck. Live with it.
Yep.
So we're going to avoid having to live it. Now I'll leave the area around her lower eye clear, because I don't want that to be too dark of a line. All right. So I've thrown a whole bunch of pen lines down. And just for the moment, I'm going to park these guys out of the way here. They got a relatively finite amount of table space to work with, so bust my zone. Mom ain't on the stream. Okay. I'm going to need that.
5 points for Bravo for correctly using doobly-doo.
Doobly-doo?
Doobly-doo.
Doobly-doo.
Although where I saw that first was on, not Mark Plier,
Matthew Colville?
Matthew Colville. And I think he got that from Mark Plier.
Alrighty. So what I'm using here is a Tombow brush pen, and this is a water-based marker. It technically has a fine point at this end, which I almost never use. I love the brush tips on this. I'm going to use this to kind of block in.
We are questioning your glasses, sir.
Yes, Dave, that's a good point there, because you know what? I jumped right into this so fast.
Yes.
I've been drawing with the wrong glasses on, so give me a moment here. Thank you.
I will throw erasers at him.
Hey, you, hey, we've had thing suddenly.
There you go, eraser. Donk.
Stay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just one in the warp.
Oh, that?
The
Yeah.
warp nacelles, not one to stay put. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, that happens when it gets warm. It can't sustain its. Okay, I'm gonna.
Yeah, I was kind of doing that with the wrong glasses on, so don't do that at home, kids.
Yep. You all get to nag Baron to use his correct glasses to get up and stretch and do all the things that artists need to do periodically to keep themselves from going blind and cripply.
And for the new folks, on the hour, basically, like at 6:30, we're going to do it. We'll take a 5-minute break, get up, walk around, get some to drink, take a bio.
Yep.
Okay.
Doobly-doo is not an Aboriginal instrument from down under that goes do wacky do wacky do wacky do. That's usually that's what some people call the comments underneath a YouTube video.
All right. Now for AJ,
I hear that small electrical shocks can be used to keep artists in line. This is true.
Yes. That's why some of us have faulty wiring in our studios. All right. Now, some of you, if you've been following me on DeviantArt, you're aware that I have been doing some. Oh, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Okay, some of you know I've been doing a little bit of research into Prismacolor pencils to try and track down a little problem I've been having with color bleeding. Particularly, I thought it was with the orange color pencils, but upon further study, I discovered actually it was certain of the yellows. It's actually one of the reasons why I did the Spitfire piece a couple weeks ago. And I'm going to have to be careful here with AJ. I can't go too fast with her color because she actually has some of the colors that can bleed. So I'll have to keep that in mind when working. So I'll have to be just a bit careful with that.
I have to go downstairs. I think Dave just blew up.
Dave blew up?
Network blew up.
Oh, no. So you're stuck with me, folks. So talk. All right. So we're going to want to have that, and that. And actually, I want to have some cream for her whole body too. This is going to be kind of a base undercolor. I'm just kind of setting this in where her highlights are going to be. All right. All righty. Now this will get definitely darker. But I'm basically putting in like some of the highlight colors for her. See, I had that little thing up there with a little bit of graphite. Okay. All right, so that sets that in place. All right. Now for her main body color, I'm gonna use.
It's all good.
All good.
Yep. The reference to Apple Jerk. Apple Jerk is the name of my iPhone.
Uh huh.
Blup.
All right.
It's warm, so I'm gonna have me some madras. Some screwdriver with cranberry.
Mm-hmm. Good for you.
Got it, Tex.
Helps fight scurvy.
See, this is a health drink.
That's right. All right, and that ear is going to be underneath the
Reach.
was. Got it. And we'll put a little bit underneath the eye there, and we'll get that. Get kind of like on her dimple there, but she's got dimples.
Indeed. And freckles.
And freckles, yes.
And all those wonderful, charming countryisms.
Yes. Now, actually, for this piece
I
here,
got my countryisms back.
I won't be able to put the freckles on. Those I'll put on with a couple quick dabs of white gouache when I get home, which is opaque watercolor. And if I take the wax off by my blending method, I'll be able to do that. This is one of the reasons why we do this. I need a little bit of goldenrod. This is a bit of a short pencil here, so what I'm going to do is break out a thing called
Ooh, that is tasty.
the pencil lengthener.
But it does need the sugar.
Yep, it does.
In which case, we may be able to get away with using cranberry cocktail instead of cranberry juice. It may just make it easier.
Yeah, well, of course, the only thing about using the simple syrup is that you can regulate it a little bit more control.
Yeah, and of course, the other thing about cranberry cocktail is you're not always 100% sure what the base juice is. Sometimes it's white grapes, sometimes it's apple juice. You just don't know. I mean, you can read the label, but you know, you have to check.
Yep. Okay, actually,
You should read your labels anyway.
could you do me a favor, Carolyn? There should be a set of 48 Prismacolor pencils down there. I forgot to grab those up before the start of the stream. Could you be a good fellow and grab those for me?
I suppose.
Thank you very much, it is appreciated. Because I was counting on certain browns that are in there. No, it should be the metal tin.
Oh, there it is.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right. Thank you. There's a 36. That's fine. That's close enough. All right. Put that down there.
Ah, yes. The things one finds when one cleans one's areas there.
There we go. I need a bit of burnt sienna in this. All right. I say I'm flying pretty fast and I'm flying pretty loose, and we're about ready to do our first blend here.
Right. This is where the blend is when the magic happens.
Mm-hmm.
So again, the whole thing on Baron's technique, and very, very few people use this. So he puts down, the high quality color pencil, and of course, color pencil is basically wax with pigment, and then he uses that solvent, serpenoid, Gamma-Sol, we'll say whatever, to dissolve the wax and lift it away, leaves the pigments behind. And all of a sudden, the saturation is just going to just bloom. You'll see the magic happening.
All right.
It will look like I'm messing with a camera. It ain't.
Yeah. All right. Let's just throw this down here really fast. Get her hat kind of blocked into it. I'll do her hat at the same time.
Yep. This is why, by the way, he can be fairly loose and quick and scratchy with the color pencil going down, is because it all gets blended together. And you actually can pick up and move pigments a little bit.
Yeah, you can move them some distance. I mean, depending on how aggressive you get with it, you can move it quite a bit. But we're going to be working in a relatively small area here, so I'm not going to be throwing this around like some professional wrestler. Okay, so let's get some blending time. Let's get down that part. We want to see that anyways. Alrighty. Yep.
Yeah, so Sakana wants to know if you have any particular arrangement for the pencils, or you just sort of fish for them.
To a certain extent, in my studio at home, I've got a much more organized system, because we're playing this pretty fast and loose tonight here. It's just kind of, I threw things in Ziploc bags and whatnot. When I'm working in my studio, like I say, I'm really on the clock, and I'm really trying to make hours count as far as production goes. All right, so the mineral spirits. No, I do not use Tostitos brand. Great salsa, lousy solvent. But they've got a nice jar of a big lid. It's nice and easy. I dribbled some. That's not a problem. Now, if this was water, you might go, he just got stuff all over it. Don't worry about it.
It doesn't matter even slightly.
Nope. I could take this entire piece of paper and dunk it in the solvent. In fact, when I was doing the You Create Day at University Art and I was demoing to people how to do this, I did that deliberately. I dunked entire pieces of paper I was doing artist trader cards on, just to show folks that it didn't make any difference. Within an hour, it completely evaporated. The paper never buckled or anything like that.
That's one thing that's special about the mineral spirit solvents, is that they don't damage the paper. They don't make the surface all loose so that it tears and mushes easily.
And you might be thinking, well, you can use watercolor pencils to do the same thing. You can't get exactly the same effect, and I could use water-based markers, because the moment I put water on,
everything wicks away.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't get any wicking with this.
Yeah. So we go to town, and it's going to look a little bit weird because we're going to get some bleeding through. And that's natural. You're going to actually see some of the drawing board at first underneath there. That's not a mistake. It's just part of the thing.
The paper temporarily turns transparent.
Yep. And because I'm working in a relatively small area, but I want to get this blend done quick, going to use a cotton swab or a Q-tip and get some initial blends in here. Now I'm going to be careful around AJ here because like I say, she's got colors that I know if I oversaturate this would bleed out like a 1/4 inch and we'd have this like yellow-orange.
You'd have to put something on top of it to cover it up. Yeah.
Right, and well, sometimes I've discovered it doesn't even do that. When I was doing the Spitfire piece, I deliberately used all the background colors that were around her, and I found you could still see the halo if you weren't careful. So, got to exercise a little bit of caution with AJ here. Don't go.
Yeah. Actually, it's kind of using the show that you were talking about, the craft fair at University Art a few weeks back. The representative from Prismacolor, from Stanford, the folks that make Prismacolor, had never seen anything even vaguely like Baron's techniques before.
Yes.
So again,
something very good may come of that.
Yeah, the canopy, basically the station that Baron was at was the Prismacolor station. And he was drawing crowds. It's like you can do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I sold an awful lot of colored pencils that day for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just kind of on the side of the drawing. Like I said, I don't want this too saturated. I can't really go in too hard
because it'll start carrying things away.
Right. Yeah. Now it's gonna look like, boy, she looks off more like
she has jaundice.
Jaundice, a little bit like Fluttershy at the moment. But don't worry about that. We're gonna go in and fix this here.
Okay, I'm going to crank the saturation a bit because it's the saturation is not coming through on the camera as to how brilliant it actually is. One moment, please, folks, while I click on this.
Stand by while we tweak things.
And I go over here and I say configure video.
I go to the other side over here so I don't get the brown from her hat.
And I say color intensity. Click.
Alrighty.
And compare that visually here. Okay, that's good, that's good, and push that just a little bit. Play with the white balance just a touch. No, that's closer.
Okay, now one thing about using the mineral spirits is when you're not using them, put the lid on. You can't smell the fumes or anything, but they're there and you're
Woohoo!
Yeah, you don't be inhaling them. Alright, let's go and do some work on some eyeballs. And it just so happens that apple green ends up being an excellent color for her eyes. Gee, I can't imagine why that would happen. Okay.
Mineral spirits do evaporate quickly. You have to keep that jar closed, otherwise you look over and say, "Where'd my mineral spirits go?" I don't remember drinking them.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd be wasting your money.
Yeah. It's true. Baron draws only the most spirited ponies. Calvados agrees.
Exactly. All right.
Whiskey Tango Horse Trot.
All right. Let's see here. We need some pink for that mouth. Perfect.
Hey, Rosewind, are you new to the channel? I don't recall seeing your name before. If so, welcome. If not, welcome back.
Yep.
And let's see, is anybody else here that is new in the list? Going back over that, is KATC14. Are you new? Do not recall. I'm old and I forget things. I'm tired and there's wolves after you.
Yes.
And the fox one. Have we seen you before? Well, welcome. Rosewind comes in through the front page.
Oh, well, welcome. My name is Baron. This is Caradwin here. I do this every other Saturday night, and tonight I am doing artist trading cards for folks.
Because.
Yeah, I'm getting things ready. I'm going to be creating some to take to BaronEngel, and hopefully I'll be trading these with people who create their own artist trading cards and bring them to the... Now, one thing is that I am working really, really fast, and I'm trying to kind of look through the fact that the board is a little bit discolored from the... And saying, okay, yeah, this is probably not the right color when everything dries out. we're flying pretty fast. We're flying pretty loose. This is kind of sloppy, but it's an artist trading card. I'm not trying to create something worthy of the Sistine Chapel. You guys are go there on the floor. Get out of the way. Go away, you bottom idiot. Yes, AJ does not have freckles. I will put some little dots of white gouache on when I get home, and she'll be freckled. Dark umber.
The Canterlot ceiling. Michelangelo poem. That works, Katana. We try not to make any assumptions about people's politics, and we know how divisive things have been lately, so we'll just leave that at the doorstep.
Yes, this is a political-free zone.
I think I see somebody else new. Hello, Mr. James Juniper. Have you been here before? If not, welcome. If so, welcome back. Oh, this is a good one.
Yes, a great summertime drink.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
The sharpener hungers. Sacrifices must be made.
Yes, yes.
101 uses for a dead sharpener.
Well, that sharpener is starting to die, but considering I've gotten 6 presidential administrations out of it, I think I've got my money's worth out of the thing.
Yep. It's been around a while.
It's been around, yes.
Mineral Spirits Gamasol, yes. That's the stuff.
Gamsol from the Gamblin Oil Paint Company. Love the stuff. It produces 1/3 the fumes of other brands, which means one, it doesn't evaporate away as quickly, so you don't waste your money.
And you're not snorting it. Yeah. It's not in your lungs and therefore in your bloodstream and therefore in your brain, making you go woohoo.
Yeah. See, I want to be doing this when I'm really old. So I want to be around long enough to be able to, keep you folks company for a while, and I can't do that if I end up, basically pickling my brain.
Yeah. I think I see 2 other new folks, Fandom Fanatico and Fox. If you are new, welcome. If you are not new, welcome back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alrighty, let's get into here. Need some real true pink. And worry about sharpening, don't worry about that much. And we're gonna grab ourselves some Tuscan. Ooh, yeah, Tuscan red.
Yep.
That's what I need. Tuscan red in there for that dark shadow area. Yeah, we are flying really fast and flying really damn low tonight.
Oh, McClaw mentions that we've had guests in. I think this is a good time to mention what we got coming in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we do.
We have a real serious treat coming up in 2 weeks. One of Baron's co-workers, Jaya King, works in a somewhat related art style called encaustics.
One of the most oldest forms of color
Right,
painting.
Egyptian tomb paintings. Some of them were done in encaustics. That also, it's basically melted beeswax and a resin with pigments, and she paints with them and gets some really interesting layered effects. She recently has discovered the show, and she is going to be giving a demonstration. This is some high-end stuff, folks. I'm going to dig out a link to one of her videos that shows her doing her interpretation of Batman, the Christian Bale flavor of the Joker. That is just astonishing to see. The only reason we don't play it right here is because I don't know about what the rights on the music are, and we're really, really careful that we only use music that we have rights to on this one. But Jaya's stuff is fantastic, and she's going to be. We're going to set up downstairs. Her artwork involves the use of a blowtorch and hopefully not a fire extinguisher. So,
but we will have one handy.
Yeah, exactly. So if you want to see her set Baron on fire, this will be great. You know, 2 weeks from now, be there.
If you like the old show MythBusters and watching them play with fire and high explosives, that's Jaya's shtick.
Yeah, she is a combat artist.
Yes. Yes, and she has recently come to the opinion that Luna is best pony. So we wish to encourage her.
Indeed.
Alrighty, what time are we looking at? We're looking at
there it is. I'm going to give you guys a link to something very, very special.
It's 2 minutes long. It's awesome, though.
Yeah, watch this during the upcoming intermission.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. As the intermission, by the way, will be in about 4 or 5 minutes.
So I'm gonna see if I can try to finish AJ up here a little bit more before we. I'll probably come back to this one, just tweak it up because we started kind of late on this. We were talking to folks and everything, so I haven't been able to give AJ a full treatment. But we'll see. One of the beauties about working with the odorless mineral spirits is that it takes off a lot of the wax. So I go back in again in work areas with my brush, no problem. And I put ink back on top of things, no problem.
Oh, Nazumi, 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 you poor,
There we go.
deluded lunatic. All praise the sun. All hail Sunbutt.
Yeah, I'll have
Actually, the best princess is me, but anyway, never mind that.
Yeah, I will admit, if you follow my Quest for Dreamscape on DeviantArt or on Patreon, yeah, you know that there's an awful lot of Luna going on, but in my heart, Celestia is my favorite princess.
Well, what I have noticed is that there is you can tell who's ever actually had either has been a parent or has had a management position. They tend to be a bit more sympathetic to Celestia. And again, the recent episode, Royal Problems. Again, they didn't go too much into depth on like the crap that Luna had to deal with the mayors of Manhattan and Philadelphia. Apparently had some kind of dispute. I would have loved to have seen some details on that. It's like, okay, you have to mediate this, but yeah, there's a little bit more sympathy there.
Mm-hmm. And same way with AJ. Yeah. If you've run a business, especially a family business, you can appreciate what.
Yeah. Okay, we'll give you a barely passing grade 7. It says Luna is second best pwn, but is best princess. Celestia is best anthro bikini pwn. Okay, we'll give you that.
Yeah.
Because did you just say princess and not the best in the same sentence? Yeah, whatever you say, princess.
Yeah.
So.
There, tidy that up, smooth that out some. See, that makes a lot better. Q-tips, wonderful tools, cheap, buy them by the hundreds, throw them away when you're done. Or you can actually hang on, save these. Sometimes I'll have some I'll keep for a couple of pictures going, I'm going to need that red again. This already has the pigment I want pre-ground into this cotton. I'm just going to stick around.
Exactly. You have a new instrument. It's called a Q-tip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Cold Silvered, you are an evil person.
What is that?
He is suggesting Princess Calvados.
Is that like Princess Big Mac?
Prettier.
Okay. Peter New might contest that.
Well, Peter can do that. Yep. Peter has been busy on a bunch of projects lately, so I have to go and hit up his IMDb. But he's been getting a lot of work lately.
Good, that's how he pays his bills.
Princess Brick is out of the question yet, then?
Yeah.
And I'm sure that Patina would like that status, but that ain't coming.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Princess Glim Glam, she doesn't need to be a princess. She's got we have seen in the show that she stands right next to the princesses, in power. She is able to work her magic on 2 princesses simultaneously at the very core of their power without their consent.
Yeah, someone needs to get a safety lock mechanism.
Yeah, she is extraordinarily powerful, but she's not. But she has not really fully, deeply embraced the all 3 tribes thing.
Nope.
Not yet. Patina with wings and a horn. Well, she already has the horn, so the wings will be strap-on.
Yeah.
Mind out of the gutter, Baron.
What?
You're blocking my periscope.
What? What? I don't understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, no.
Nothing at all. Nothing else. Don't anything. I idea what you're talking about. Okay.
Well, hello, Kunaspani. Are you new to the show?
Yes.
I don't know where that came from. But if so, welcome. If not, welcome back.
I forgot to pack gray, so we're using gray lavender on her eyeshadow. There's 1,000 yards there. There we go. And we're looking at 2 minutes. I got 2 minutes left to get this baby finished up here.
Yep.
All right, so I need that, got that. That's good. That's good. Oh, where's that tongue? There we go. Come back here, Tuscan Red. I need a little bit of a highlight here on the other side of this here. And I'm just a little bit of contrast. You stay there. We're working fast, working furious here. This is kind of like Iron Chef the last couple minutes.
Well, Iron Artist, yeah, that's kind of the thing at some of these conventions. They'll get a bunch of artists up on the stage, with great big easel papers and say, today Iron Artist contest.
I did an Iron Artist at a further confusion, and the material was cake decorating, and I had never decorated a cake in my life.
So what you have to do is Mr. and Mrs. Cake having a fight with, with icing dispensers.
This was before the before MLP. Our friendship was magic, at least.
Well, in that case, it could be a whipped cream thing.
Yeah. So it ended up being three-dimensional sculpting is what I did. That's what I could make work, because I couldn't get the stuff to feed correctly through the thing, and time was running out, and it was really kind of embarrassing because my wife had done it the year before.
Yep.
And I was like, must do something, improvise.
Yeah. Seven says that he's hoping that Twy doesn't get dwarfed by Glim Glam. I think they're actually just about on par, but there may be certain areas that Glimmer has more power, more raw power in, but Twilight has better education and more skill, just more skill and more subtlety and more creative use. Well, so far, Glim Glam has been.
But I think
she just throws a lot of dice.
Yeah, she does. But I think also Glim has been, for lack of better, in a few more bar fights than Princess of Friendship has, and that can also tip the scales in your favor when we're not playing by Queensberry's rules here. Sorry about that.
Yeah, and we have a couple. I think I see somebody else new. Hello, Grande Lobo. Welcome to the channel.
Yes.
If you have been here before, welcome back. If you have not been here before, welcome, welcome, welcome.
And it is 6:30.
It is. You're here just in time for us to take a 5-minute break.
But we'll be back.
Yeah, I'm going to go click to this here.
I'm just going to do a quick initial. So, anybody who's going to BronyCon in August.
Yep, going to sign that last thing.
I just signed it right there. I said when I get home, I'll throw some orange some white dots on that.
Yep.
All right.
There we go. All right. So, and as promised, I'm going to, as soon as we do our fade to 5-minute break, going to give you guys that link to Baron's guest 2 weeks from now, Jaya King. She has a 2-minute speed paint of how she did Batman the Joker in beeswax and raw pigments. And
there's an incredible, awesome underdrawing.
Yes, and she did that drawing too. She is amazing.
Yeah, she knows her stuff.
Indeed. All right, folks. 5 minutes. Be biological. We'll see you then. And we are indeed back.
We are back, and hey, Larsus, I see you in the chat there.
All righty.
Okay.
Everybody get a chance to go take a look at Jaya's really cool stuff. We will definitely we'll definitely repeat that again. So
yeah, I think folks are going to really enjoy having Jaya on the show.
Oh, absolutely.
And then in September, we're probably going to have another artist that I think people are going to like. His name is Jeff Bramschweiber. He is the assistant manager at the San Jose University Art, and he's also been an instructor at the Rosicrucian Museum in San Jose. And he's going to be coming in here and he's going to be talking a little about Egyptian tomb painting and how to work on papyrus and stuff like that. So, yeah. Walk like an Egyptian. We're dating ourselves.
Correct glasses.
Yes, correct glasses. But I'm using these right now because I'm reading the screen here.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Okay, so what you going to do next?
I'm going to do another ATC.
All right.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's switch over right away. Get the painful shirt off of.
All right.
There we go.
Thank you, Cold Silver. Yep.
See that big blue blob? That's where the camera's aimed.
Yep.
That's how Baron knows where to keep the.
That's my target. Because tonight especially we're working really, really small, so I don't want to like put it up here because it won't be able to see it.
Stay on target.
Yeah,
Stay on target.
right there. Fortunately, the tape's not very thick, and this is 110 pounds, so I don't notice that underneath.
You are evil, generic. You remain evil.
All right. Like I say, doing a bust here. Now this time, I will remember to put Rarity's horn on. Unlike that one I did at the You Create Day, where I suddenly created my new OC character. There's Cody hairstyle.
Commonality, yes.
Yes. Actually, we're going to move her over a little bit, so I have a little more room for her mane. Move that over. We're just working kind of quick and fast, sterling things down.
I don't think he has enough ugly bright colors for that, Seven.
What's that?
Chibi Carradine with a screaming Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, I'd be screaming.
Yeah, that would use up all of his lime green and Days of Fuchsia past.
There we go. Okay, there's enough room. And I got her horn this time, and her horn's on one side, and her mane's on the other. And yes, I'm talking to myself like Luna does. I say we're going really fast and quick and dirty here to get things down in place. Okay, that's too far forward.
Time for best marshmallow. How do you describe wanting additional artwork for say, a Rarity? S'more.
Best fashion horse.
Yeah. Worst dad joke.
Yes.
So, do AJ and Twilight ever change their opinions about Patina in your dreamscape? Because they're more than a little leery of her. They're downright distrustful of her.
AJ, she doesn't really change it so much because of Patina. She changes it because of Carousel. Twilight, yes, Twilight's opinion will change some because Twilight's going to have some things happen in her life in the relative near future of my dreamscape that will start, making her look at the world a little bit differently.
Yep. There's a lot of folks do like Rarity. Yes, even of all people, DWK, who does some very raw, brash, coarse, lewd, but also incredibly insightful recap of various episodes. Like, okay, look, here's what actually they're saying here. Likes Rarity best.
Well, I thought this whole thing about, she's a self-made mayor,
Mm-hmm.
and she's basically built herself an empire. All right. That's a very quick Rarity, but this will do the job. I want to get on to color. Patina the Corruptor. Yeah. She would say her special talent is lowering inhibitions.
Yeah, helping you to relax.
Mm-hmm. Yes. See things in a way you would never see them before. Think about things that you would have never thought before. It's not about having to go to confessions afterwards. All right.
Where's that cord? Yes. I usually do
we're
not.
working really fast here, so I didn't worry about doing the crosshairs on the eyeballs. I could kind of figure out where they had to go for this one.
Death ray eyeballs, crosshair eyeballs. All right, Sylvan, we shall see you later. Thank you for joining us. 4 a.m. is indeed a late time. That's right, Sylvan is, let's see, that would not be plus...
He's in Duluth.
No, it says 4 a.m. is coming up. Oh, okay, so it's not 4 a.m. where you're at.
No,
okay.
no, no.
I was going to think, what time zone is that? Wait, that's Poland.
No, he has to get up at 4 a.m. to go to work on Sunday. Pray for the poor man. I've had to do jobs like that.
Yeah, I had a job like that. I was way back in the dim times. Remember McAfee Associates? It's still around. Intel owns them. The antivirus people. I was their very ever first tech support agent. And I had to open the phones at 6 a.m. our time, which means that I had to be at the office at 5:30 a.m., which means I had to get up at 4:30 a.m., and I am not a morning person. No, not even slightly. But well, all those stories you hear about John McAfee being just a little bit not quite like the rest of us in the brain, they're true. Yeah, a lot of the stories. Well, again, I don't know about the whole, weird things happened down in Central America, but he's a little bit nuts. I'm still, I still, think at heart he's an okay guy. Hi, John. But yeah, he's definitely. Not quite as connected to this world as the rest of us are.
Yeah, if Tony Stark had been the Grateful Dead, he might have ended up like John.
Yeah. John spent many years chemically enhanced.
Yes, that's one way to put it. All right.
That's right, Catspaw. Crack of noon. You see, the hours between 6 a.m. and noon are the devil's hours. Best sleep through them. Because a sunrise is a wonderful way to end your day. Oh, Cal is off to Steakland. Take me with you. Take me with you.
Yeah. Enjoy. Have one for us. Alrighty. Okay, that's all done. We can erase.
Speaking of food, what is the status of the pony recipe book?
I need to get back to that. I got kind of sidetracked at the start of the year, but it is something I'm still chewing my way through it. I actually need to do, especially for Catspaws, I need to get him the interior illos that go along with things.
Indeed.
And I need to get a chance to actually try out some of the recipes a bit more. Just cook some stuff. Say, sorry, dear, you can't eat this. I know, James, you won't like it. Too bad. I'm going to cook this.
I'm going to have to do, I'll give you the recipe for my Griffin paprikash.
Oh, that's very good.
Yes. As I've recently, developed a chicken paprika, paprika chicken, whatever you want to call it, recipe that's turning out really, really good. And it gets better over time, in the fridge. 2 days later, you heat it up and you put it on top of rice, and oh my God, that's so good. Yeah, but we'll just do paprika Griffin. I'm sure the Gilda would appreciate that.
Yes.
So Dusty asks, "What is Rarity up to?" That is not the look of somebody that is just sitting around doing nothing.
She's scheming. She's a scheming type.
She probably wants something from a delivery pony.
Yeah.
But a delivery pony, oh my God, she just has them wound around her
finger,
little hoof.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need to get you to do some non-pony ATCs too.
Yep. Oh yeah. I figured I'd probably skip back after this. I'm tempted to do. I've got an idea what I want to do after this. I just wanted to do this one off of the shows off with a couple of little techniques a little bit differently. Yeah. All right. Now I'm going a little bit faster, so I've literally not allowed some of the pen to dry. So I'm getting a little bit of smudge, but since I'm racing away from the body out into the main, I'll be able to hide that all underneath the main color.
It's all going to be in the shadows.
Yep.
In other words, you meant to do that because it enhances things.
Exactly.
There you go. I mean, the whole birth of your colored pencil technique was due to an accident and a spill.
Yeah.
And discovering, oh wait, I can do stuff with this. That was while you were in art school, right?
It was in college. But yes, I was working on oil painting. I was really into oil painting at that time, and I was using colored pencil to do color thumbnails, quick color studies of things before I'd start on throwing paint onto canvas. And I dumped some of my solvent onto the surface and looked at it. Oh, cripes, that's not what I wanted. I took a paper towel and I started lobbing it up really fast, and at some point I must have twisted it or something. And I stopped and I'm like, oh, great. Now it looks completely different than the rest of the picture. But wait a minute, that's what I wanted in the first place. So I kept playing around with it. Let's see here right quick.
I think I see somebody new. Hello, Saya Usaki.
Okay.
Unless, of course, that's Jaya in disguise. But welcome. If you have been here before, then it's welcome back. But either way.
Zero, I'm going to have a highlight, so I'm not going to put any marker in that area right there.
Yep.
And in this case here, I don't really care if I've got some like marker streak lines, because I'm just basically doing them in the direction of what her mane would be going anyway, so I'm going to simply incorporate that into part of the picture. Just go along the edge here, so I got a area to work out away from the body. Now, fortunately, with Rarity, none of her colors like to bleed. So I can go in pretty heavy-handed with the solvent and blend stuff.
Yeah, the cool thing, Cold Silver, about DWK stuff. Again, he's got a really funny delivery, but listen to what he's actually talking about. See, when he has a talent for distilling down, the core of the conflict, what's going on, and what the resolution is, in some pretty crystal clear ways that a lot of the folks who call themselves analysts, don't call DWK an analyst, he hates that word, miss, or don't express well.
Well, I think
he is very down to earth. It's like, here's the way this is going down.
Right. Well, but I think part of the reason why he can do that is that he has a lot of what people like to refer to as life experiences.
Yep.
And that some of these younger analysts and reviewers will over time probably acquire, but it's just one of those things you can't substitute. You have to sometimes have walked that mile in someone's shoes and seen the elephant.
B flat, yes.
Very limited amount of space here I'm working with, so I'm taking things in and putting things out as I need them. And we'll quick test on that envelope again. Yeah, that should work.
Very vaguely, Nozumi. I do not read music at all. I did when I was 8. I played baritone and trombone and valve trombone. That was when I was 8. Let me tell you something, by the way, about valve trombone. It's like a regular trombone, except it has a set of like very trumpet-like, little valves, so right back next to, the mouthpiece. So in addition to getting the slides, you can also, you can play it like a big old trumpet if you want.
Yeah. Yes, Fox One. I am using Tombow brush markers, and now I'm going to be going to Prismacolor color pencils. And I want blue violet. That kind of.
So here's the cool thing you can do when you're 8 years old. When you look at the valves, right next to each valve there's a little loop of tubing of variable length. I mean, when you put the valve down, you divert the air through that, and you make the whole thing longer, you get a different tone. So what you do is you get ice water, and you put it into each one of the loops, and you slide it back into place. And then you play the trombone like you normally do without using the valves. And what you have is 3 charges of ice cold water that you can slide the trombone slide out all the way, and at the end of the slide there's a spit valve, and you hold the spit valve down, and then you hold the regular say your ice water valve down, and you just plain blow. You don't into it, you just blow, and it goes right down the back of the shirt of the kid in front of you.
Yep. Kids are amazing.
Yes, so you get this loud yelp, and then you have 2 more charges, each one bigger than the last, and then you do detention for about a week for messing with the band instruments and dumping ice water down the back of the neck of the kid in front of you. But he deserved it because he's one of those arrogant little trumpet players. I hated trumpet players.
So this is based off life experience.
Well, again, I mainly played the baritone, and when you're in elementary school band, the baritone says, You know, it was very boring. And I got tired of that, so I started, without telling the band instructor, playing trumpet parts just one octave down. You know, because it's the same, you know, fingering just one octave down there. And he never caught on to what I was doing. It didn't sound right, but he couldn't quite. What's going on? You know, I'm telling you, I was a real gem. But yeah, so valve trombone is great. You know, so of course I would be practicing in the band room, and the other kids come up, and the baritone has a big old bell, a big old mouth, you know, about a foot and a half across, you know, right next to your head, and those like you'll pour water into it while you're playing. I just kept playing, so it's like like nothing happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were special.
You're so special to the equipment.
We were special. I mean, my bus should have been only 2 feet long, I'm telling you. But yeah, that was a very strange school.
All right, now I need some purple to bring in. This is actually more violet. You say actually, I don't need you guys anymore.
Saxophone. Saxophone.
All right, there. You get out here. I need you.
Saxophone. Where's my saxophone? That's clarinet. That's a trombone. It's a gazillion brass flute recorder. The hell is that? That's not saxophone.
Yes, we talk to ourselves.
Somebody has to.
Yeah. So if you do the stream, it's all part of the show. Just sit back and enjoy the. We. Thank you, Nazumi. Yep, that's correct. We're playing wire bass marker down, putting regular Prismacolor pencil down, and then in a few minutes I'm going to be applying odorless mineral spirits to this and using a brush and a Q-tip, and we will blend this. And then you'll get to see something really kind of cool. So just bear with me here for a minute while I'm staying in camera, right, Carolyn?
What's that?
I'm staying in camera.
You are right on center. That is a very, very blue. I need to desaturate that a little bit because it is not that blue. The color response of this camera is not perfect. Someday when I have tons and tons of free money, you do something to get a Canon EOS 80 or something like that.
Oh, that'd be nice.
And you just use that as your video camera because
Yeah.
they all have capabilities of being used for video nowadays.
All right.
But in the meantime, I click on this button that says that is way too damn much blue, and as I configure video because that's way too damn much blue, and you say advanced settings, and you say color intensity back off a little bit. There you go.
I'm packing that today.
And maybe a tiny bit less contrast.
Yes, he's talking and I'm talking. Mutter. Ah, there it is. All right. This color's called Black Grape, and this is one of my best friends in the entire world.
Say hello to my little pony.
Yes. All right. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Now we can see that that's like this is the top part of the mane, and this is the underside of the mane. All right.
Somebody said Glockenspiel.
Glockenspiel? They're mildly fun. They may be because we have to get the adjustment to get this color right, and well, trust me, they're okay. I could almost kind of wish my fingers were mildly frostbitten. It'd be a nice change of pace from this week.
Yep. When the shadow of Baron's arm eclipses it, the blue really pops. That's right, Baron's arm is secretly Luna.
Yep. Okay, there we go. And just so we kind of even this out, in this other tray, or in this other tray, there's 3 levels to this.
So how many circuses are left after Barnum and Bailey's closure? Well, there's always been smaller ones, but of course the big one is, of course, Cirque du Soleil. And one of the reasons why Cirque du Soleil is doing well and Barnum and Bailey, hasn't done quite as well, is that Cirque du Soleil does not have any animal acts. It's all humans. And Barnum and Bailey has been accused at various times of not treating its animals well. I don't believe that's been true for a long time, but the stigma is still there. And
the transportation cost of the animals.
Yeah, exactly. But Cirque du Soleil is all human acts.
All right.
And of course, the other big thing about Cirque du Soleil is it's as much about the live music. There is a show in Las Vegas, well, several shows in Las Vegas that are all Cirque du Soleil, but the one that I'm thinking of is Mystère. And one of the things that they have is a trapeze act where the cords that are holding up the trapeze bars are bungee. And the trapeze artists, they're in like these climbing harnesses that are sort of bolted into it so they can do spins and stuff like that. And they go bouncy, 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 boing, boing, boing. And so they're doing these all these tricks, and there's one where they're supposed to...
Can I just interrupt for just a moment?
Please do.
Okay, Fox, we're now going to start applying the solvent, so watch what's going to happen here when we start working this. So it can continue.
You're talking about pop. Here's your pop. Got your pop for you right here. So there's one trick where they go bounce, 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 and then it's supposed to come together and meet and clasp hands. And they miss. And when they miss, it takes. I think they went through the recovery cycle is 8, and then they do it again. And the band conductor, who's live music, is watching how well they're doing and setting the pace based upon how quickly the performers are doing it tonight. And if they miss, he goes right into, it was an 8-bar repeat, and the music crescendos again when they went back, and this time they got the grip, and it's a very very special place. Has the circus come through Ponyville in your dreamscape, by the way?
No, but we have had the county fair a couple of times, and that will be actually something that will be...
We had the circus come through town a couple of times in Cat's Paw's Ponytails game. That's always an interesting time. Yeah, he's done the circus. When I game mastered, I did Nightmare Nights.
Windshire loves the circus.
Windshire is a circus. What's our humans? That's where you get profit. Yeah.
All right, there we go. You can see how that evens out the color. Just this is my first blend. I could go back through. If this was being a real finished piece, I could really work this and.
Yeah, get a very velvety, almost satin-like.
Like I say, these are ATCs. I'm just going to throw these guys out fast. That way, if someone comes up to me at BaronEngel says, I have something to trade for you, I can go, okay.
Yep. Cato says near his house there was a railroad crossing and was on his way home once and got held up by a train at the crossing. It was the Barnum and Bailey circus train. Give me all your peanuts.
Yeah. If you go to my Facebook page, I have a video of the last Barnum and Bailey train passing through Virginia, and it is many dozens of cars.
It's a full-length train.
Yeah, and
about 70, 80 cars. Yeah,
and that's part of the reason why it got economically not viable.
Yeah,
because you got to support maintaining all that stuff, plus payroll, plus HR, plus lodging and food. It gets expensive. It's one of the things that killed big bands after World War II. It was just they were too expensive to travel.
Here's a little bit of trivia for you, Sakana. The actor who played Quark, Armand Shimmerman, wrote all 300 rules of acquisitions and wrote the Writer's Bible segment on the Ferengi culture. He more or less, fleshed it out from the disaster of season 1 where they had energy phaser whips and jumped around like monkeys. Gene Roddenberry, I'm telling you, he lost it in the later years. And turned it into their fully developed, profit at all costs culture. And the actor did that. And of course all the writers like, yes, more.
Well, Worf did a lot. Michael Dorn did an awful lot of Klingon.
Yeah, Michael Dorn did a lot of Klingon stuff. He developed the whole fight choreography and Klingon martial arts. Michael Dorn's another interesting fellow. He took all of his Star Trek money and he bought airplanes. Lots of airplanes. Lots of basically old military surplus airplanes. Transports and other say and World War II era warbirds. And that's where he put his Star Trek money. And he flies the things.
Mm-hmm. And now he leases them out to movies. So he's making money back on Hollywood from.
Yeah.
Okay. I kind of get that in there. I get that in there. Let's go start working elsewhere on rarity. Ready.
B&B is Barnum and Bailey. That's the Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus, which historically was the largest circus outfit in the entire country of U.S. for over a century.
Yep.
P.T. Barnum was one of the great archetypical businessmen of the late 19th century.
All right. Now, got my white. And if I remember correctly, and I don't. Oh, mine's a terrible thing. Oh. Well, let's see here. We're doing this nest. We've already got some.
I see somebody else that may be new. Hello, Catty Cat. Are you new?
Well.
If so, welcome. If not,
Welcome.
back. Anybody else here? Insomnicon. I think
Yeah.
you may be new.
Yes.
Hello.
I'm Baron, and this is the cured one.
Yep, I'm the Ed McMahon to his Johnny Carson. Are you old enough to remember who the hell Ed McMahon and Johnny Carson were? Hello, Vonarch. I think you are also a new guest to our channel. Hello and hi. What Baron is doing is a colored pencil technique in which, after the colored pencil goes down, he uses mineral spirits solvents to lift up the wax from the colored pencil, leaving the pigment behind. And the pigment just absolutely pops in saturation. I mean, you can see how brilliant that blue is. I've had to cut down the camera's saturation several times just to keep it from overwhelming it.
All right, let's get that and that. And we need a shadow on the other side of that horn. And we're using great lavender because, well, when you're working ponies, you can kind of turn the saturation up on the colors.
Yep. P.T. Barnum was a con man. That too.
Yeah.
Now, like I said,
say
a very successful businessman in the day of the rail barons.
Yes. He was one who fooling his money is soon separated.
Yes. That and see the egress.
Yes. And
full born every minute and two born to take him.
Yep.
But he did build an empire.
Yes, he did.
Here's Johnny. Yeah. Yeah, as a Caspar put it, Warren Faust's original vision for Equestria was the 1880s and was not really going to have a lot of pop cultural references. That came from more or less Hasbro's input to say that this needs to be more familiar. Mm-hmm. But yeah, these big circuses, they were the big annual event. Mm-hmm. I mean, there was Christmas in the circus.
Yeah, well, that was your connection to the outside world in a lot of these small rural communities.
Absolutely.
You didn't get out to the big city.
Yeah, this way the big city came to you.
Mm-hmm. Before in the days before newsreels and radio and television, that was how you learned about far off exotic places. Yep. And things like that. Get back here!
Yeah, in Faust's original vision, ponies would be just starting to figure out electricity. Again, obviously, we've seen later on as this show's evolved. It really seems like Ponyville is a backwater. So,
not quite off the grid, but definitely not.
Yeah, I mean, compare it to Manhattan.
Yeah.
And other places that we've seen that that have electricity, everywhere, that have electronic music. So of course, I've commented before, technological development goes where cultures value it, mm-hmm. or where necessity guides it. And because Equestria is not a place that's driven by warfare and famine, all the technological development's going to go to things like entertainment. Mm-hmm. So instead of developing rifles that are years ahead of their time, compared to the rest of the technology, they develop entertainment systems that are years ahead of their time. Mm-hmm. Which is why Vinyl Scratch has, and a CD, a dual CD controller deck while people are still using,
And
pony-powered carts.
This may look a little bit weird. Oh my gosh, he's ruining it. This is just simply the, because I'm working in white, the solvent going through the first layer of color pencil and everything, and just coloring things. Once this all dries out, Rarity will look much nicer. I'm having to fly a little bit blind here because I'm having to remember what my colors would look like underneath all this, because here I'm blending in a shadow area. So I got to kind of keep track of where things are.
Yeah, Orko's observation is that Ponyville may be becoming more of a focal point than Canterlot. Yeah, so here's the thing. I mean, you have Twilight, who is a princess, traveling to Manhattan, and she can't catch a cab, even though people can see very well.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like Equestria is not that impressed. Canterlot, of course, being the seat of government in a very traditionalist place, I mean, there is still, there's still nobility in Canterlot.
Mm-hmm.
We have Prince Blueblood, Prince Blueblood, and Fancy Pants and people that are very clearly aristocrats. We haven't seen that anywhere else.
Nope.
And again, Canterlot is a backwater.
And
Ponyville is a backwater to Canterlot, but that's where the national heroines live.
Yeah, now that's one of the things that initially tipped me off that Starlight was going to be something. Well, she made the observation right back, you must be a princess. It's like, thank you. Someone on camera acknowledged,
Yep. Yeah, let's see. In the Dreamscape, where Celestia had Luna's powers, Corwin did have a giggle at DJ Flutterheart with headbanging cadence. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Derpy on the throne.
Yeah, who needs to invent atomic bombs when we have royalty? that is one.
Mm-hmm.
Vinyl does have her base cannon, so does that count as an energy weapon? Only if you're on the wrong side of it.
Yep. Double check something.
What's that? It's only my base cannon.
All right, check our favorites here. Just want to check something here really quick.
Indeed.
My game again.
Hello, Pink Pony.
Hey!
1,000 years from now, there will be two power centers between the palaces, between Canterlot and Ponyville. Crystal Empire is just too far north to be geopolitically powerful. Yep. Well, technically, Equestria would be the empire, and the Crystal Empire would be the Crystal Kingdom, because what an empire is a conglomeration of kingdoms. Mm-hmm. States that run themselves internally, but overall allegiance to a central monarch. That's what an empire is. So that would be Equestria. How does eyeshadow on a pony work? It'd be a pain to get out of fur. Well,
that or just a spell.
We just always use the same color every day.
That too.
Yeah, Celestia pre-populated Ponyville with ponies that could be elemental bearers. Potential plot points with pre-populated Ponyville ponies.
Well, that is
with Penjo's power.
That is an idea that some people have explored. The idea of her being kind of being this very long-range experiment that she had. I'll need that for the shadows on the main, but I need the blue for her eyes.
Rarity.
And we're looking at
checking to see your coloration versus what's on the screen. It's pretty close. It's a little bit blue and a little bit more red. Let me see what I can do about that with white balance.
And let's see if I can go in here and fix up that eyeball a little bit better too. There we go. That looks like an eyeball.
Eyeball.
And looks like a California roll.
There you go.
Of course, if your California roll looks like this, send it back to the chef.
Yeah. All right. Let's see if I go this way. Whoop. A little bit more.
I'm gonna need to dump out that pencil sharpener.
We have a break coming up. So again, it's 7:12 right now.
Yeah. Alrighty. Bum, 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 bum. And we'll need that. And we need a little top off here. There we go.
I think that's more like it.
That's a ticket.
That's more like it. Solvent, burn it off.
Yep.
always wondered how many cans of hairspray it takes every morning to get her mane to do that. Well, it goes crunch, crunch, crunch. Yeah.
Actually, maybe it's like Patina's. Patina doesn't have to do anything to hers. Hers just
freaking unicorn magic.
It just goes blink.
Yeah.
Even as a mouse, it just.
Yeah. In Ponyville, Palace watches you.
Let's go ahead and boost our whites in that area.
You'll say that background unicorn magic. It's probably related to that to the contact telekinesis that give ponies gecko hooves and sticky hooves.
And prehensile hairtail.
Oh, well, that's Pinky. Yeah, she's just.
Well, AJ's demonstrated, and even Rarity has demonstrated on one case. She carried a cake in her tail. There we go. All right, and how? Yeah, you got nothing there. I don't need to.
Oh, I'm still on vibraphone. That's why it sounds weird. It's like, that's an odd sounding. What is the rapid pulsing sound in the background? We have a big fan. We do not have central air conditioning in this house. What I have is a big fan that's it's like 2.5 feet in diameter. It's in the hallway upstairs, and it pulls all of the air in the house. It can change the air in the house in under 5 minutes when it's on maximum. So on hot, humid days like this, it runs in the background and it sounds like the warp cores on the Enterprise.
Yes, it's a special effect that we spared no expense for you.
Exactly.
There we go. That evens that out a little bit.
Let's see. How are we doing on people here? Anybody new?
Yeah, we got a fine crowd tonight, folks. Thanks for tuning in on your Saturday nights.
Indeed. We have... I think we've seen Serious Face before, but we have not seen Serious Face before. Hello, Serious Face. If we have, hello again.
Welcome back.
I have a duty to perform, by the way.
Yes, it is.
I'm going to perform a duty.
He said duty.
Yeah, we'd like to thank University Art.
Yeah, it's University Art.
Great. On Monday morning, my sponsorship is gone.
There we go. Now, University Art is a very kind sponsor to Baron. It is a high-end art store located in San Jose, Redwood City, and Sacramento, California.
If it didn't melt down this week.
Exactly.
In Sacramento.
They, University Arts is also a museum quality framing shop. I get all of my framing done there, including all of the stuff that Baron does. Baron actually worked there for 20 years. And again, we'd like to thank them for helping make this show happen. They keep Baron well supplied with art supplies, and occasionally they will drop in to just see how things are going. Hi, Mike.
Yes.
Hi, Jeff. We're actually going to have one of the University Art employees, Jaya King, as a guest in the show 2 weeks from now. She does encaustics, which is another wax and pigment style, but this one involves a blowtorch.
And hot guns.
Yeah, exactly. When she does she's going to be doing a demonstration here, and I will have the fire extinguisher handy to put Baron out when she catches him on fire.
Yeah, it's a bit survival research laboratory at times.
Exactly. It is combat.
And if you don't know what that is, look it up.
Yeah, it is combat art. So thank you very much to University Art for being Baron's sponsor. And again, if you're in the Bay Area and you need art supplies or framing, the University Art, they beat the hell out of Michaels, I'll tell you that. Alrighty. Whoop. And there, and then there. Haha, magic.
More magic.
I clicked the thing.
You clicked the thing?
I clicked the thing and the logo changed.
Ooh.
It says BaronEngel.
BaronEngel.deviantart.com.
Of which, I'd like to take this moment, actually, especially for people who are new, to say I really want to thank my supporters on Patreon, because without their support, this would not have happened.
That's you guys, yeah.
I don't have a day job. This is what I do for a living. I wake up in the morning, I go out in the studios, and I create art for people. And that was a dream that was a few years ago, and I didn't know if I was ever going to be able to do that. I'd gone to school, I'd studied it, but your chances of making it in the biz sometimes are pretty slim, even with a lot of talent.
Starving artist is a phrase for a reason.
Exactly. And because of their support in 2015, I was able to make that jump. And so if you've been enjoying what you've been seeing here tonight, I'd just like to take a moment to put a bug in your ear that for $1 a month, you can make a difference. There's a link on down there. You can go and make a pledge. Or if you can't do that, you can't make the commitment for whatever reason, that's fine. It helps spread the word about the stream and everything. But there's also a thing called Stream Tip. If you just want to throw a buck or two in tonight and say, hey, I really enjoyed what I saw here.
Click the big blue button you want to.
Yeah. And earlier tonight, some people were asking, well, how do you get these cool Patreon rewards? Well, the $50 tier, you get one piece of black and white art a month like shown here tonight. Now, at the moment, all of those slots are full.
That may change shortly.
Yes, that may change. We may have up to 2 slots opening up in July. So I will be making an announcement about that on my Twitter and on my DeviantArt and on the SMU website. My wife and I have our own website for Smudge Marks and Engel Works.
Which coincidentally is also underneath the video.
Mm-hmm. And you can go there. We have an e-shop where I sell examples of my work, and we're going to have more prints going up fairly soon. And if you kind of may want to go back and see past episodes, my wife has been archiving and putting up all the old episodes there, so you can watch them.
To Deathlight, if you're talking about University Arts, they do not have their full catalog on their website yet. They're just in the process of getting a serious e-commerce website. They haven't had one to date. But they do have airbrush supplies in the store.
They do. And the other thing, too, is that the website that they currently have at the moment will have everything that their main vendor, McPherson, carries, which is some things that won't even be in the University Art stores themselves. So it does have some advantages, but the people who are hosting the site are just not doing it justice. This is the 21st century, and it needs to get caught up. And University Art has said, we're going to make a committed effort to try and get it better. So I'm eagerly waiting them to get a more up-to-date site. Okay, so that put the lid on solvent. I don't need the solvent for a few minutes here. So
Yeah, but it's kind of toasty in here. And
oh yeah.
So
it'll evaporate faster.
Yeah.
much faster.
It's about 90 degrees outside. Again, like I said, it's nothing compared to what it was, but still slightly toasty. And it is, of course, the right after the solstice, the summer sun celebration, the longest day of the year.
And one of the things is in the Bay Area in the evenings, the humidity does start climbing. So we're probably getting up around 50-60% humidity. So this is a bit of a workout for us, but this is my job.
Fox One, which YouTube are you talking about? If again, if you're looking for like past episodes of the show, you should be able to just search for BaronEngel on YouTube.com and it'll show up.
Or check for Smudge Marks and Engel Works.
Yeah. The the most recent 12 shows, I think it is. There is if you look underneath the video window on Picardo, you will see a couple of tabs, and one of them says commissions, but one of them says videos. That's past shows, the whole things. And so, again, if you just need some background noise and stuff like that, or want to see Baron doing some more drawing, there's some nice 4-hour doses.
Yep. You do this in 4-hour segments from 5:30 to 9:30.
Yep. Yeah, which reminds me, actually, we're coming up on a break. It is now 7:22. At 7:30, we will take a 5-minute break. We will run the fan on high and clean out the humid air here.
Yes.
Yeah. Fortunately, I dipped myself in deodorant so I don't make the room unbearable.
Yeah, and I did. I powdered that and powered up really good before coming over here today. So.
Yeah. Yeah. When it's this hot, you know that Celestia's watching over you.
Yeah.
Or would it be Daybreaker?
Yeah, so kind of watching over you. Do you get a restraining order on her again?
Nicole Oliver really enjoyed having the leash taken off her. Because again, the characters that she plays in MLP tend to be controlled, calm. They don't, not given to doing wild things. But Daybreaker, there was no restrictions.
Yeah, and I think she enjoyed playing Tree Hugger too.
Well, totally.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do find amusing that Tree Hugger is DWK's avatar.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason for that, and it's mostly biochemical.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, opinions on Daybreaker. You want to handle that one?
Interesting character. And part of me is I kind of feel like they probably would have already had this little debate and argument that they had for the episode, but I understand, hey, we have to have something here. I have to agree with DWK, with Starlight saying this sounds like something that they should have worked out a few centuries ago. But it did make for the character design is interesting. And of course, my take on Celestia is when she gets angry, she doesn't turn bright orange; she turns blue. The kind of Cherenkov blue radiation color.
Yep.
She's all about the sun, as in the nuclear fusion part of things.
Yes. And you get Cherenkov radiation when electrons are traveling through a medium faster than the local speed of light. By local, I mean the speed of light is what we think of as the speed of light, 186,000 miles a second. That's the speed in vacuum. Mm-hmm. The speed of light is actually a little bit slower in water.
A lot slower.
Or other mediums. And even in the atmosphere, it's down by a very tiny fraction. So those electrons would be coming out pretty dang quick.
Yeah.
And then the electrons hit everything else around it and knock the other electrons loose, and then they give off photons, which we call Cherenkov radiation.
One thing leads to another.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. 7 Cents brings up JJ, the guy that did, he does Gamer Luna and used to do Ask Princess Molestia, is now doing Ask Daybreaker.
Oh,
yes,
that's right.
Brand new. There's only 3 or 4 installments.
I'll have to go.
The Solar Destroyer.
I did find the whole thing about DWK about them supposedly being their old Facebook and MySpace.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, Orca. Actually, that's exactly right. That blue glow is Cherenkov radiation, and again, that's the water rods and the reactor rods and water storage. Yep. That's it.
And she basically, when Celestia gets really, really angry in my dreamscape, you start getting like this ground fog rolling off her body. That is Cherenkov blue. And that's usually when everybody clears out and gives her some safe distance, and you have to go in after when she's done and kind of decontaminate areas.
Yes, and give her chocolate, lots of chocolate.
Yes.
And
a cheesecake.
Yeah, so if you see Cherenkov radiation without the presence of a swimming pool, you may want to quickly write a will. There was an incident in Brazil. There was an incident in Brazil where in a junkyard, somebody had thrown away the radiation source for an X-ray machine.
Bravo.
Yeah, it's a cesium.
Yes.
And folks that were, just sort of going through the junkyard just looking for interesting stuff found it and cracked it open. And said, cool, look at the incredible blue glow here. And then a few days later, they died of radiation sickness. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, yeah. And so they got to see what Cherenkov radiation looks like. Mm-hmm. Oh, Calpain's is co-writing the
yes,
the Daybreaker thing.
Of which I have a commission with him. I need to get taken care of.
Yeah, that's when you call in the hazmat team. So actually in the U.S., that's when you'd be getting the folks not from hazmat, but from the, let's say from the, was it the Atomic Energy Commission or something like that? Yeah. And the National Ignition Laboratory too.
Right. To answer the question, no. Sully has never actually gone blue over anything Patina's done. Believe it or not, Celestia actually likes Patina in many ways.
She just needs to operate within certain boundaries.
With certain boundaries, and don't invite anybody else into the realm. And but she actually thinks that in some ways Patina's a very good influence for Twilight because
Twilight needs to loosen the hell up.
Yep, and Bettina is giving her whole new world experiences that just, she wouldn't have gotten any other way. Okay, we're about at 7:28 here, so why don't we switch cameras here?
Alrighty. Clickety click. Bang.
I'll put a quick signature on this guy. All right, there. Boo. Okay, and pop.
Yep.
All right.
There is no wrong way to fantasize. Thank you, Celestia.
Yes. Then,
Check this one out.
Yeah, and that line right there made Celestia Bettina's most favorite pony ever.
Little hearts appeared instead of pupils.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, Viper will not be in that dreamscape if Bettina has anything at all to say.
That would be one said, Celestia, you know how I agreed to, and then just, she won't.
Yes. Yeah, because Celestia has told Bettina that there is a long-term permanent position at the Equestria Lunar Weather Station. It's a very boring job. But,
But somebody's got to do it.
Do it.
Unfortunately, there are occasionally volunteers.
Mm.
All right, folks. 5-minute break.
Yep.
So we will see you then. Again, if you have not, I'm going to do the link to Jaya's video one more time.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 2-minute video, 2.5-minute video. Watch it, enjoy it. We will see you in 5.
Be back.
Choip, choip, I'm a Boyd.
Welcome back.
All right.
And Vile Flesh, I know you follow me on DeviantArt. Is this your first time here to the stream? If so,
I think we see him once
okay.
twice.
Well, welcome back. If
Either way.
yes. So, before we get any further, I'm going to start looking up the next thing I'm going to be doing an ATC for. And in the meantime, this good fellow here is going to give me a reload because I think I've sweated out.
It's been warm.
Yes. Use the things we do for you. Keep this in mind. You kids these days.
Uphill both ways.
And this.
Barefoot. Beating off bears with our bare hands. And the bears were grateful.
Perfect. I always love when the first thing you start typing it in, it actually comes up with what you want. There we go. Great.
Yes.
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 You're going to get something special, folks.
Yeah. We're going to do something that's not going to be pony. I've done 2 ponies. It's time to do something else. Another property I love quite a bit.
I wonder why.
Hey. Rocket's a great character. Bloop.
OJ. And simple syrup. Just a little blurb of that.
Yeah, don't worry, folks. It'll be a few hours before we leave here tonight, but on top of that, someone else is driving. Actually, we're going to do something not pony. We're going to do something different.
Technically, not even really furry.
Nope.
But his bark is worse than his bite.
Anthro, though.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Ain't that pretty? I'm going to show you this before I disturb it.
Don't get the syrup.
I did.
All right, put it. All right, excellent.
All right. So I'm going to take this camera right here. I'm going to show you this. This is cute. This is so pretty.
In unsteady cam.
Look at that. Ain't that pretty?
Yes, and drunken ground squirrel.
Celestia is eyeballing it.
Yes.
All right. There. That goes back there. I put that over here.
We may get to another pony tonight, but I want to do something. If there's some folks here, they want me. I can draw all kinds of things besides just ponies. So,
So you've been doing one per. Let's see if you can go a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
Or,
let's see. Can you give the stir of doom on that thing?
The stirrer of doom.
Yeah.
But it's so pretty.
It's so pretty. Yeah, I know, but I want to get kind of more integrated.
There we go.
It's all pretty, but how it tastes is what matters most. All right, there. I can stay hydrated for the next hour. Alrighty.
There's plenty of makings for it, Catspaw. In fact, once Baron gets started, I may just take a couple minutes to drop down there and make sure that our moderator is well moderated.
Yes. Okay. So.
Not exactly. Pink Bunny. Not exactly. I'm going over to the drawing camera. There we go.
Thank you, thank you.
There we go. Maybe I'll move it up just a tiny bit. There.
Like so?
Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
Alrighty.
I'm going to take a moment or two to make our downstairs moderator, Mr. Catspaw, also well hydrated.
And so I will be doing
You're flying solo for a moment.
I'm flying solo. I'll pilot and put the brick on the pedal with me. Fine. We'll see how long it takes to figure out, folks, what exactly who I'm drawing here. That's right. Ice cubes are very important. Ding! Andy Carrot comes in with Groot. I am Groot. Alright. That's enough of just penciling Groot. The rest of we can just go in with pencil and things. This is going to be interesting. I don't know if I have all the right colors for Groot, but we're going to fake this. Yep, drink lots of water, which I do. Yeah, so we're getting kind of fast and loose here. Just putting things down, getting things sorted out. Hey, Rubber Vixen, you showed up. Question, did you get email I sent you with image? We showed image in the kind of, what's new art at the start here tonight, if I haven't heard from you. Need to know whether or not you got an email with an image in it. Alright, and there. And we need a brown. You're perfect. Yeah, I thought I'd sent that to you, but then I was going, maybe I didn't, so I sent to you. If I sent to you twice, okay. My bad. Senior moment. Oh, we've had someone else come in the room.
I got ugly real quick.
I just tuned this thing. What's up, guys? Woohoo!
Oh, yes, thank you. Change your glasses. I'm being bad about that tonight. You guys keep me honest. Send me an email description there, Robert. We'll take it from there.
What is going on over here? I have to say there, Baron,
What?
that the rarity you just drew
Uh-huh.
is probably the sassiest rarity I have ever seen you draw. I want her so bad.
Well, now, if you do an artist trading card...
I know.
And take it to...
What kind of artist trading? I don't do that kind of art anymore. I build these things.
Well, maybe get a real small piece of wood.
Yeah, I'll build a very small piece of wood into a single string guitar and hang it up there.
I also need mouse.
Mouse.
Hey, Patina, get to work.
Yes, Patina. You're sleeping on a job again.
Now, by the way, folks,
Hi, Octavia.
for you folks who follow me on Twitter and everything, you may have seen right before the stream here, I put up that little bit of video of that really cool vinyl scratch with the music and the lights and everything like
And
that.
everything.
That guy
Yes,
here did.
that guy.
He created that thing.
Yes.
He created that amazing thing.
I built that from an idea.
Mm-hmm.
When they announced that little toy, I was thinking, why did they not put a Bluetooth speaker in it? It was screaming for a Bluetooth speaker.
Uh-huh.
So as soon as I got my hands on
Good night,
it,
Cyrus.
I went down to Fry's and found this really compact little 1.5-inch speaker Bluetooth system and cut it to pieces and shoehorned it into the toy, and it worked. And it sounded awesome. So I'm thinking, well, this needs more. It needs lights,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, how could I do that? So me and my friend Garth, who's a plastic printing guru and programmer, has basically helped me with this.
And speaking of
Said baby, there she is right there. La. So she, let's see if we can see this in the camera shot. We can't, it's a little too low. It needs to be about there. I got a couple of books or something. Watch this. Watch this.
Remember,
He's gonna put a camera on it.
kids, don't try this at home. We
Don't
are
try this
paid
at home.
professionals.
Paid for unpaid professionals. There we go. La, da, 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 da. What do I do? Check that out. You know, I don't have my phone with me to play anything on it, which is downstairs where I was sitting.
Hang on a second.
Hang on a second. We're gonna get to we're gonna show you this.
Yeah, Carrot
Wonderful toy as soon as we
Carrot
get
is
my-
graciously
Yes, graciously fetching my
Gopher.
phone.
playing Gopher.
I'm not breathing heavy into the mic, anti-carrot at all. Why do I need to be breathing heavy into the mic?
All right.
Yes. So anyway, to continue the story, once I got the speaker working, I thought it needs lights. Wouldn't that be cool if these little plastic trees actually lit up? Wouldn't that be cool? So I tried to come up with an idea on how to make that work. The nice thing about this is that the back side of here, there's these long stems, which easy for drilling out. So I drilled it out, installed a couple of LEDs in there. Let's get this turner on. Come on, baby. Find it.
You have to resync that.
There we go. Point the camera down a little, he says.
I'm here to rock your world.
So in this little box right here, we have an Adafruit microprocessor that has been programmed by my friend Garth to actually follow the music. It has a rechargeable battery in it with a little port in the bottom for charging and a switch on the back to turn it on and off, connected by a mono jack. These babies right here, you're gonna love these.
It's kind of hard to see with the camera as it is there, but there's red, green, and blue LEDs that are doing the bar show.
Yep.
Yeah, the camera isn't really picking up the different color, but it is nice and rich color.
It looks far more awesome when you're here in person.
Yes. So these two babies, I found these Spectro kits out of China. So basically they are a board with all of the LEDs and all of the resistors and everything else you need to actually build them yourself. So I soldered all the lights and all the components on. There's about 100 components per on these boards. And I went over to my friend Garth, who's a plastic printing guru, and he came up with these cases for them. Each one of these controls the sound. There's a microphone in the bottom, so it's all working on the music. And 2 switches on the back, which just turn them on and off. They work on 9-volt batteries, and I think that she's done now. So yeah, this has been my little project of the last 2 months, and I hope people really like it. So I'll probably have it at BronyCon with me, playing at my table. So if you're going to be at BronyCon, come check her out.
And to already answer the question a lot of people have asked, no, it's not for sale.
It's not for sale. If people have asked me, can you build me one? It's like, no, because it would end up being about $700 or $800 between the amount of time I put into building this.
Yeah.
Plus getting all of the stuff
Again.
to make it again. So yeah, it's a one-time thing. I thought maybe I could sell them. It doesn't make any sense monetarily to do it that way.
All right. Okay, we're gonna move the salted back over here again so I can get at it. Lights coming up.
Lights coming up.
All right. Yeah, it's perfect timing because I just got about ready to
Shut off.
start my first color blend
But
on Groot.
that was the latest project, which is the DJ Pone 3.
And of course, you've got another project. You know, it's a secret project, but it'll be really cool.
I do have a secret project that Baron has actually been helping with,
Catspaw too.
which has something, yeah, Catspaw too, something to do with these. But actually, these, I'm building a real cigar box guitar out of a cigar box in wood. I'll be doing fretwork. I'll be doing all kinds of stuff, and it will premiere at BronyCon for sale. These two have helped out with that. Very special. When I start building it, which I have been building, I do have videos of my building it on my YouTube channel. You are watching my YouTube channel, right?
You are, folks. You need
yes,
to.
you need to watch my YouTube channel because I do all this building stuff on my YouTube channel. I didn't do any of the building stuff with her because it was just sort of like I need to build this thing and get it done. But cigar box guitar, I am filming like I did with the Sunset Shimmer guitar, and those videos are going up once a week. So if you want to see a real cigar box guitar go together with some pretty special stuff going on, then watch coming up this week for episode 2 of the cigar box guitar. And this is one of my latest ones. This is the Discord cigar box guitar. And of course, we couldn't have just a one color on the neck for Discord. No. It has to be discorded. So there'll be 2 of these at BronyCon for sale. But of course, if you want one and are not going to be at BronyCon,
You can get them elsewhere.
yes, you can get them at my Etsy store. Manly MLP Stuff is my name at Etsy. So if you want to get anything that I have, like buttons, pins, stuffed animals of my OC, or any of these, you can check out my Etsy.
Also, too, another person who has an Etsy store that folks might be interested in. I know a lot of people rather enjoy my Quest for Your Architecture
Yes.
stuff. And Earth Pony Creations.
Mm-hmm.
He has an Etsy store,
Yes.
and he's selling his stuff too. So if you can't get to one of the conventions, he's going to be at BronyCon.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it's my goal to try and get him some new stuff. So there'll be some new
Yes.
things.
New things.
New art on wood that no one will have seen before that convention.
Does AC Racebiz have a new coffee table? I have no idea. I haven't talked to Best since that thing, so I don't know if he's gotten himself a new coffee table from banging his head on it. He put his head through his IKEA coffee table while he was filming Bronies React.
Ow!
Yes.
Let's say it was one of these, which is essentially hard-clad cardboard, but still.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah, mine is a terrible thing to waste.
I think we're well past that.
Oh. Why that seems to sound kind of appropriate music for effectively drawing a swamp creature.
I know.
And if he were made out of tiger wood, would that be? It's Groot. Groot.
It's Groot.
It's Groot. I'm sorry.
No, you're not. No, I'm not. Yeah, it's a fine. I'm just as bad as you are.
Haha. Yeah, so I was just going to come in and say hi to you guys. I haven't seen you guys in a couple of shows, so I just wanted to come and say hello for a little bit, show off some of my work, and make sure that you guys know that I'm not dead.
Yeah,
So,
you're not. You're far
I'm not
from dead.
far from dead. I'm still working on the book narration. That's taking off because if anybody's been following me on Twitter, the recording room is done. finally, I've put all kinds of stuff in that room so that we can start recording in there too. So the book, as soon as I get chapter 2 done, I'm going to put an excerpt from chapter 1 on my YouTube channel so you guys can see what I'm doing. So every time I get a chapter done, the prior chapter is going to get an excerpt up until I think chapter probably 10, because it's a 14 chapter book, and then you'll be able to go buy it.
Yeah, but what happened next?
Well,
What happened next was the author got paid.
yes.
And he doesn't get paid unless people.
So I'm going to get out of here and let the man take his seat back. So I will catch you guys
On the flip
at
side.
flip side at BronyCon, at Equestria LA, at Nightmare Nights. I will be at all of those. So I will see you guys there. And there's inklings of things that have to do with Canada that I've been thinking about. But we're not going to go there right now. But, that might happen. I'll catch you guys later.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
See you in a bit downstairs, Dusty. Thanks for being on. Alrighty. Okay, working on that. Let's get your work here done and do something else.
Squeeze.
You fit through okay?
Yeah, I fit through.
Do you want your drink?
That was actually supposed to be for Dusty, so I'm going to give that to him.
Yeah, give us a drink. Alright. So folks, it gets kind of exciting around here sometimes. We have all kinds of folks dropping by and saying hi. I need some of you.
Which came first, the shirt or the cocktail?
Oh, can of beer. Yes. Alrighty. Get that in there. Need some black grape. I need some black grape, black grape, black grape. Where'd you go to? There you are. Excellent. I'm talking to myself.
Well, in that case, given that you have a similar job, as it were, dreamscape author,
Yeah.
I guess it just goes with the territory.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Running around accomplished.
Alright, I'm about ready to start on another one. What?
Oh, that's cold, Brown Bear. Feeling old now. Last time I saw Dusty, he had hair. Ooh, that's cold.
Good.
Except he kind of sort of did it on purpose.
Yeah. Look works for him. For me, I'd look like a Hare Krishna on the run. Now you may notice I didn't dip this brush back in the solvent, but I am getting, I don't know if you can see it or not, but I'm actually getting some blending here. I'm just barely moving and pushing the pigments around, just trying to get things down and in place. This is just working real fast and real loose. Just using the very edge here of the brush just to get the pigment to move just a tiny little bit.
Vroom. Hey, there's a car goes vroom outside.
Yes, someone has a...
That isn't mine.
Yes. No, yours sounds better.
Mine goes blah, 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 blah. Okay, there you go.
That sounds like someone throttling a rooster. All right, so, hey, I got that one done, half an hour.
Very good.
All right.
That's Groot.
All righty. So
Well done.
let's go do another one. All right, now, since we did Groot,
I know a certain vermin that needs to show up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Who you calling vermin?
Yes.
You can't trust
Oh,
beavers.
But what if I want it more than he does? Still illegal. Having had a friend who had a raccoon as a pet, they did a very good job of capturing the personality of a raccoon.
Yep.
All right, pop right down there in the middle target.
Yeah, we have opossums living under our backyard deck. Much less
Trash panda.
caffeinated.
Yes. Yeah, trash panda. That's a
Yeah.
good.
Uh-oh, what you doing?
What am I doing?
What are you doing? Well, that's right. I know what you're doing.
You're not.
Yeah, I gotta know what you're doing.
Geez, really?
Yeah.
I have to explain it to you.
Yeah, well,
But
somebody.
this one's gonna be kind of tricky. I don't have quite some of the right grays. I'm gonna have to get kind of imaginative on how I handle him.
Reel in the mouse. So I have the control and the power supreme. And with the power supreme, I'm going to do this. I'm going to say thank you to your sponsors.
Yes, it is time.
It is time to do our hourly duty. To say thank you to University Art for sponsoring Baron, making sure that he is well supplied with supplies. University Art is a high-end art supply and museum quality framing store with locations in San Jose and Redwood City and Sacramento, California. Again, top-end, the absolute best art supplies you can get. Workshops and instruction, and again, framing that is literally good enough for Rembrandts and Picassos because they've done them. So, again, I want to say thank you again to University Art and to the folks from University Art who are watching. Hi, Mike. Hi, Jeff. And maybe even Jaya, whom we will have as a guest 2 weeks from now. So, thank you very much to University Art. You are helping make this a real thing. So it's your fault.
Yes. So you're an accessory.
Well, it's important to accessorize.
That's right. Just ask Bettina. She's all about accessorizing. Like I said, I'm doing really fast and loose here, just laying the character out kind of where I'm going to want things to kind of go. I know how we're going to do this. All right. Yeah, that's how we're. I think I know how we're going to play this. I know how this movie ends. Okay. All right. So let's quickly clean up.
Well, you need to remember, Pink Pony, that Baron's self-image is a raccoon.
Yeah.
His firstest ever, avatars and online handles now. He was Baron Coon.
Yep. And I still occasionally have I'll dream. I'll drop back in and drop back into a coon form. It's kind of interesting when you'll have a dream and you'll start out and you're in Equestria and then you'll finish up some business there and Bettina says we need to jump back to Andor or the Angel Knight, and yes, I will start putting up some more stuff because things are starting to happen there. And I'll turn you off for just a moment, get you out of the way so I get to my pens. And actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna borrow you. You're perfect.
Oh, good lord. Because apparently Orca had a raccoon get up into his attic and did about $6,000 worth of damage to the insulation and other stuff in his attic.
Yeah,
Oops.
Watched a video, a Nova special, talking about raccoons in Japan and about the problems they were having with them kind of starting to push out to Tanuki. And these priests at this one Buddhist temple who have become experts at combating raccoons, because raccoons have gotten into the temple and have literally done hundreds of thousands of dollars of damage to irreplaceable, rare items. It's like, thanks, guys.
Raccoons do not respect antiquities.
No, they don't.
Only the ones that they can fence.
Yeah, the moment raccoons figure out how to post on eBay, things will get interesting. All right, I need marker pens for this. We need to work fast. Let's see here. Look at N81, and N95, and N75, and N65. Shit. Tombow brush pens are what's going to be required here to make this magic happen. All right, iPad, need you back in the game again. All right. There we go. Okay. This way I get my grays in. So N75 is what I actually want to go with here for the. Yes, this is looking a lot more brown. This is awfully brown. Rocket's not this gray. Well, I gotta put this in first, and I'll put the brown on top because I don't have certain color pencils with me. So I'm. Well, the black bear, we're not fudging this baby. I realized, hey, I want to draw this character. Hey, I didn't bring the wrong character colors. Improvise. This is time to improvise. We'll leave that kind of there. And we'll leave everything there. And we'll pull it up through his ears right there. I'm trying to get this down half an hour. Tip. Okay, let's go to N65. You'd think that N65 would be lighter than N75, but it's not. It's actually darker. Don't ask me. I didn't do naming and number conventions with Tombow. Didn't get a chance to get over to the Tombow booth when I was doing the You Create Day, which I really would have liked to.
You were working that day, though.
Yeah, they were. The Sanford booth was one of the hopping booths that day. That and Jaya's RFKs, of which she apparently is going to get that table.
Nice. Well, again, she should. I mean, she is such a serious spokesman for.
Yeah, it's getting it to Sacramento is apparently the great. Well, how are we going to do this? Carefully.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll tell the story, but she actually had an exhibition in Sacramento that apparently she was worried that it was going to melt. It didn't.
Yes.
The surface of her art, because she can end up with 1/4 of an inch of wax on the top. The surface of her art got a little bit tacky.
Toasty.
Yeah. Actually, that reminds me. We need to let the Picardo admins know that they're going to be having somebody doing encaustics.
Yes.
And that's not a common thing.
Nope. Do you have the contact?
Well, they have this thing called events, which I don't think we'll go through the events thing because that's really set up for limited access paid stuff,
right?
Which we're not doing.
No.
But they may, if nothing else, I mean, the Picardo admins, they're fans of art too. That's why they're doing this.
Yeah.
We've actually had some of them show up and lurk from time to time. Hi guys. So let them know something a little bit out of the ordinary is going to be going on, and
yeah. Okay, so that's there. That's there.
Oh no, you're not, Robert. You're just faking it.
Yeah.
You're just talking in your sleep.
Right. So we need to put you guys away. What I need now is you, and I need you.
And the little Cessna flies overhead. We're on the right underneath the northern approach to Reed Hillview Airport, which is my home airport. I sometimes throw little Cessna 172s around the sky, flying spam cans.
Yeah.
But I say, hey, it's pretty hard to mess up at a Cessna.
Nash Rambler of the air.
Well, they're flying SUVs.
Yeah.
And I'm the biggest, so I'm the biggest chicken of a pilot you've ever seen in your life. I am so careful up there. Oh, the reason the table appears to be wobbly is because with the magnification that the camera's doing, it just completely emphasizes any motion. You normally don't see it at the normal scale he works at. By the way, if you could move it about maybe an inch upwards, that'd be perfect.
Yeah, and I'm working really fast, and I'm working really
loose. Yeah. That is okay. You still have 20 minutes.
Yeah, but it's amazing how fast that 20 minutes can get cobbled up. So I'm working and get things done. Kind of like that song from Huey Lewis, working for a living.
Yep.
And I am working for a living, actually, because this is what I do. This is what me and my wife do to pay our bills.
Yeah, well, you're doing your job now.
Yep. This is me punching the clock. I don't have a...
Yeah, say some jobs don't suck though.
Nope.
Mine gets annoying at times, but that's okay.
All right. So we got that. Now we need to get that Brown in for his vest.
Yeah. Probably, by the way, asks if you can, show maybe put the group card next to it for a few moments because you didn't get to see it.
Oh, give me 1 second here. I'll be glad to do that for you, Prowl. Let me just get this Brown in. Groot. I am Groot. I thought it was very interesting that Vin wanted to know what Groot would actually be saying. All right. There, that blocks in a whole lot of stuff. So now we can start going out of copies and making things really happen. So I'm just going to take a second here and bust my work area. All right. Work area bust. Brain relubricated here. Very important.
Keep them gears from grinding. Yeah, Dusty was actually telling us earlier today. He's I say basically a Harley motor he recently opened up. Actually, it wasn't a Harley; it was American Eagle, I think, was the company that made it. That somebody had been drag racing it and not taking care of it, and little tiny bits and pieces of the motor were all over the inside of the oil pan. And I think it came in because it dropped a valve, which then into one of the cylinders, where it then got pounded into an interesting pretzel shape by the piston. So take care of your motors, guys, because otherwise you will learn that valves are not supposed to be pretzels.
Well, there was, remember that series of TV commercials in the 1980s for Fram filters? You can either pay me now or pay me later. That's pay me later.
Yeah. Hey Dart, if you are new to the channel, welcome.
Nope, he's been here.
In that case, welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back.
I'm old and I forget things. What's my name?
He was first time last week. Last time we were streaming. But,
okay. Well, there you go. I'm just having a flashback.
Yep.
It's a flashback, man.
We're doing artist trading cards tonight, Dart. This is kind of a fun way, you can kind of get into doing art and you can trade.
Yep. Like Baron said earlier, you don't sell ATCs, you trade them. Otherwise, you are violating the covenant and the pact.
The spirit of it.
Yeah, Foxfire, we've got a couple of guys at Reed Hillview that own Extra 300s, which are fully aerobatic propeller aircraft. Like the Red Bull team and I think the Discovery Channel team are flying Extra 300s. And they will do things while in the pattern to land that you're really not supposed to do while you're in the pattern. But they do it anyway, and they get away with it because they're really, really good at it, and they don't do it too often. Just things like doing, knife edge turns, doing about 85 degrees of bank, turning, downwind to base, or doing aircraft carrier style landings, where they don't level the wings until almost the wings are
Good
dry.
night, Andy Carrot. Yeah, I think things that the air traffic control people really aren't super keen on.
Well, it depends. I don't know if he's still there, but back when I was taking my training, there was one air traffic controller at Reed Hillview that was incredibly grumpy, and you would at people all the time, which is you don't really want to do it at a training airport because you don't want to, you want students to finish what they're doing, not to be scared away. But he apparently was not what you would call a team player. He used to work at McCarran Airport down in that's Las Vegas main airport, and all the other controllers like get this guy out of here, and Reed Hillview was his last chance because he's such a crabby old man who did not want to. He did not want to obey the rules much himself.
Also, all you're doing, if you're making the pilots unnerved, that doesn't help the situation any. Great, the pilot's unsettled. That's just what we want. I'm looking for something, and I'm knocking pencils all over the place. See, this is one advantage of my usual workspace. I've got a little bit better organizational way to keep control of these things, but color here gets kind of fun, and of course I'm playing her fast and loose. And somewhere around here, and I'm holding it in my hand.
Yeah, there you go.
Right, folks. Okay.
No more brain lubricant for you, or maybe you need more.
Yes.
Actually, I think you need more.
I is professional.
Yeah.
Don't want to put too much black in this, or else he'll just turn to mud. So we're going to put a little bit of black grape in along with the black and the burnt umber, what they call dark umber, prism color. And that will give us a nice.
Oh, I see why it's vibrating there. Because I believe the camera mount is in contact with. Yes, it is.
Is in contact with what?
With the table.
Oh.
I'm going to take about 30 seconds here to move.
Hard hands, folks.
Move this. Yes. That needs to.
Did I push the table back by accident, by chance?
It's possible, but unlikely. Instead, what I'm going to do is this.
Stand by while we experience technical difficulties. All right.
And there we go.
All right.
Go for it. Yep, no more vibration.
Hey, we make things better for you.
Yep.
No barfy can for my.
We give you guys a real quick overview here. Fun. All right, let's see what goes there. That let's unwind this. Woohoo! Fly through the room from here and there. See right there? See that boom? That's the overhead camera right there. Right there. That's looking down there. And back over here, it goes back to a stand that is just behind Baron's monitor. Problem was the back of the monitor, the bracket we have, clamping it to the table, was touching the boom. That's bad. Ain't that right, Applejack? Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
That's naughty.
Yeah, that's my focus. I look at Applejack here when I'm looking at the camera. That's how I try to make eye contact with you guys out there and
Yep.
the internet.
He is Groot. But you are Applejack.
That would make for a very amusing picture of Applejack trying to pluck apples off of Groot.
There we go. Question about ATC practices and traditions. Are you supposed to create them before the convention, or might an artist make them to spec on the day or on the spot?
Either way. The only main thing about ATC is that you do not pay for them. You give them as gifts, you trade them with other artists, but you don't. They're meant to be something kind of break the cycle of spiraling art costs. Now, of course, if someone you can't commission me to do an ATC, and unless it's like a gift to another artist, and that artist, you really aren't supposed to say, I'd like to see you do an ATC that's kind of like this with this. No, that's called a commission. That's something else.
I want to turn down the contrast a bit on this. Let's see. Don't all these curtains make the room really hot? Actually, they help keep it cool.
Mm-hmm. And they do a very good job on sound dampening.
Yeah, well, they eliminate some of the reflections. I mean, we still have a little bit more room echo than I'd like, and I'm going to do something about that when I have a few extra bucks. But yeah, I might lower that slightly. Let me have a moment. pull it back down just a little bit. When we have a little.
Okay, I got it. Coming up on one big ol' honkin' massive color blend. All the color blends.
All right, let's see. Drawing cam. Properties. Properties of drawing cam. Aha, here's Steve Preview. Here's how we do this. There we go. So that's the drawing cam properties right there. And then I'm going to click on configure video. Oh, there's a control panel. It's probably washed out for you guys, but it's the Logitech HD Pro Webcam C920 control panel. And I can do things like move it this way and that way a little bit.
Before we go any further, we're going to take the eraser and we're going to erase some of these graphite pencil lines because once I get some stuff down, I can't get those guys back out again.
There we go.
So let's tidy up
Decontrast
Rocket
a bit.
as much as Rocket's ever tidy.
Yep. Oh, he's always kind of scruffy looking.
Yeah.
Who you calling scruffy looking?
Yes.
There we go. Save. Okay.
All right.
There we go. Okay, how-to basic of how to stream. If you guys have not seen How to Basic, it's this very weird YouTube channel. Look up how to cool your laptop and watch the one from How to Basic. You will learn how to cool a laptop.
Is this kind of like cooking with Boris?
Well, at one point apparently people nagged, "Well, you're copying." No, he really isn't. But no, How to Basic it goes way beyond that.
All right, so we've gotten some color kind of thrown around down here and everything, and I've only got 10 minutes left to finish this bad wet for a break, so
Yep.
you need to get some solvent on this thing.
Yep.
And clean out that brush. So there's anything too unfortunate in there. Well, I was doing Groot, so at least it's lots of earth tones to start with. Going to get in here, we're going to work these colors and kind of blend this around here and get on down to here, and we're just, I'm just working fast through this. I almost look like
That's one of my Celestias.
I almost look like I know what I'm doing. By the way, in case anybody's kind of curious, because if you've watched several of these streams and you may have seen me do this color work, you may have seen this sad little brush here. This brush is older than I am. This brush was my dad's old illustration brush, my late father's brush that he used to do lettering and some ink ad work for folks occasionally. And it's an old sable brush that's probably pushing close to 70 years old. But over the decades, I've used it enough that it has developed a certain character to it, and I know the behavior of this brush. So I can get in, I can just sometimes do some completely insane work in areas.
Oh, that's interesting news.
What?
You may have heard about how Star Wars, they had the directors, both those co-directors, and they both quit because they couldn't decide on anything, and they wanted to do one thing, the other wanted to do the other. Apparently, Ron Howard is now the director.
Yes.
That will be
For
interesting.
the Han Solo movie.
Pink Pony, it's one of the Auroras. Yeah, it's not a Build-A-Bear. It's one of the Aurora Thalestiath.
Okay.
Probably there's a line called Beanie Buddies that are larger.
Okay.
Yeah. That's so that's the Aurora. I actually have. I'm going to show you the other one I have. I'll be right back.
Stand by. We'll have a new guest in the studio. Let's see. That's not what's on the camera. Okay, good. Get some more purple in this. Just so you know, a little thing. I love working with purples for a lot of highlight and shading colors. It is actually a much more versatile pigment than I think some people give it credit. So especially like burnt umber and black grape are amazing colors for blending. Ah yes, and here comes the many facets. BaronEngel actually has been a pretty good director.
This is a White Dove Creations Celestia. No, fairly good size. Boom. Ooh, I pushed a button with it.
I was wondering if you were going to make this a fashion show and have like music to go along with it. Evening wear, very nice.
So that's the White Dove one. Set her aside. She's expensive. Set her where she won't get all messed up.
He'll be back, folks. Yeah, Apollo 13. That was one of Ron Howard's babies.
And this one I have to hold. This one is kind of special.
One of the great things about Rocket is that he's so scraggly looking that you can just, you know, put lines.
Wait,
You know.
you can rough it out because that's accurate.
Yes.
This one is made by Lady Little Fox. This is my Christmas tree topper. This is a very angelic Celestia. That's curlicued yarn. Now, Lady Little Fox, I think it is on DeviantArt.com. I'm going to go replace her. This will take me a moment.
Now I'm having to be a little careful here because I'm really putting down some color fast, and I'm not giving this. I got a little tiny bit right there. Got a little bit of unevenness in the pigment there. I worked it out. I didn't want to scratch and lift off any of this because this is a pretty soft and pretty wet, and it's entirely possible I could end up ripping out. Turn that. There we go. Not getting as much of it. Yay. Basically what I was worried about is getting a little bit of let's see here. We're not done yet. There's still the potential to go really do this in the home stretch. So
There we go. Yeah, let me see. I think Lady Little Fox has a page that she did for that one. Let me see. There we go. Clickety click. Oh, there it is. There and there.
Okay.
That's my Celestia.
Let's just do one there quicker fix before I sign this guy off.
Yeah, pretty much, and that pretty much sums up my attitude say towards Celestia.
There is, I don't want to say too much because the guy is still, it could possibly go through, but he is in the initial stages. There is someone who's I've been kind of working off and on with, who is looking at making a Celestia that you might be interested in. Because he's trying to recreate my Royal Warbarding armor.
Aha. That will be a hell of a project.
Yeah, fully articulated wings. They have to be fully articulated. It's the only way you can get the armor on and off. And he's 3D printing a lot of things like the plates and everything like that to get the engraving and scales and everything like that. Yeah. Let's see if he can actually pull it off or not. It's an ambitious project. Have to see if he can make it happen.
That's Pink Pony. Not yet. Stay tuned.
Okay. Why don't we switch cameras?
Let's do this. Has anyone drawn the Guardians of the Galaxy as ponies? Yes, I've seen Groot ponies. I don't know if I've seen a Rocket Raccoon pone. There we go.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Ooh. Okay. So, 2 ATCs in 1 hour.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Guess what's going to happen in the next hour? 2 more.
Let's see if we can do it.
Go to get in practice.
Yeah. Well, I gotta have a lot of these things done in time for if I'm gonna have these all at BaronEngel, because remember I can't really work on a lot of this stuff during the day because I gotta get everything done for folks. So
This is true.
get time.
Well, anytime you have half an hour free, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, and I'm not trying to breathe.
It's overrated.
Oh yeah.
All right, folks. So we're going to take our final break of the night. 5 minutes.
Come back and
We're
we'll
going to cool down the room here and turn
Yes.
up the fan to Arctic Gale.
Yes.
And we will see you folks in 5.
So I can actually see what I'm doing. I'm walking around. Hey.
Hey, what if I said?
All right.
Click. And we're in the home stretch.
All right. Before you head out, good night, Rebel. Thanks for tuning in tonight.
Go
And,
beat up Spectrum.
Yeah, and just because someone made the comment, no Gatling pony right now, at least in my dreamscape, is Apple Bloom, who's learned how to figure out how to manifest, basically ordnance.
Perfect. Oh, speaking of manifesting, stuff there. Have you folks been following NC Mare's Cancol ponies?
Mm-hmm.
They are freaking amazing. I mean, they're releasing them in 6,000 by 4,000 resolution, and you zoom in, and there's details that need that resolution.
Yep.
Holy crap! Yeah, NC Mares occasionally streams here, occasionally shows up here.
Yep.
Awesome stuff.
In-
Totally awesome.
In fact, I'm waiting to see whether he shows up tonight, because he usually shows up around this time. See where Toxic drops by and says hi.
Indeed. I will keep my eyes open.
Right. Okay, so we are here for the last hour. Let's see if I can maybe actually crank out 2 more ATCs.
Get done at once. That means we expect it every single time now.
So
Crap.
I'll do 6 tonight. And there's been a couple of requests for her, and I think she'd be a fun pony to do an ATC for. So I'm going to do Octavia.
Oh, there he is.
You're right. It's like saying the word Beetlejuice.
I have. All right, we go.
Yes.
Yeah, Corwin, that awkward moment probably is because of somebody using an ad delivery system to try and deliver something crappy on you. Yeah, get yourself an ad blocker, not necessarily to avoid ads, but to avoid the malware that sometimes comes with them.
Yep.
So hello, Mr. Toxic.
Yes.
Yeah, Soxa, Baron is doing artist trading cards, ATCs.
I've been doing ATCs all night.
Yeah, they are literally the size of playing cards. They're exactly the size of playing cards. There we go. He's cranked out 4 so far.
Yep. They smell like solvent.
Whoa.
Yeah. Alrighty. So we're gonna next one I'm gonna do. This will make Octavia Melody very happy. I'm doing Octavia ATC. So why don't we switch that camera so I get back to work?
Let's
And I'll
do
change my glasses.
You didn't last time.
No, I didn't. But because everyone's been nagging me, I'll do it this time. But yes,
You always have the privilege bit set to nag Baron about getting the right glasses.
that's right.
Wait.
So yeah, this is what we've done so far. Our little hand of cards here.
You may notice your target spot's moved a little bit.
As it has.
It's moved about 2-3 inches there.
Yeah. I bumped the table coming back, so I actually had to pull it back in. No, that's going to be banging right up against the
Yeah.
thing.
So
Yeah.
you need to be up by about 2 inches, or either that, or I can move
how
the
about right there?
aim spot.
Is that okay?
Either a touch more, or I'll change the aim. Just
Okay.
do what you're comfortable at. I will take care of it.
That's fair for my back.
Damn right.
Alrighty.
So let's see.
Drawing
Drawing cam.
Bing. Oh, that's nice rarity. I forgot about that rarity.
Propertizo, configure video. Yes, let's do that.
Configure.
Let us then also click on the aim spot. Up, up, up. Okay. Save.
Blah, 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 blah. Boom, there we
Okay.
go.
And then the last little bit, I will adjust it. There. Perfect. You're centered.
Thank you. Alrighty. So we got. Okay, there's some set down before I use that for reference already. Okay.
So BaronEngel, how many times over the last 5 years, while at a convention, has someone come up to you and called you senpai? A random person, and not just somebody you know that like calls you senpai. I have never been senpai.
I've been senpai a couple of times. Like I say, I have picked up a new nickname in the fandom.
What's your nickname?
It got used several times actually by different people at BabsCon. Oh shit, it's him.
El Diablo!
Yeah, we was very much. And then like, oh my gosh, I'll meet you. Like, oh, do I owe you money?
Yeah.
That was my first.
Oh no, you owe me art. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
It's like, oh shit, it's him. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to wait and see whether that actually carries over at BaronEngel. That was strictly a West Coast thing that the fans do for me. All right, there, and she has a bow tie.
Yeah. Howell, that is one of the original iPad Pros, the 12-inch iPad Pro, the one basically the first of the Pros.
Yep.
It was a Christmas gift.
Yes. And then it started the amazing.
He squealed. It was great.
And then the amazing quest began for the pencil.
Well, yeah. I actually ended up writing a script that would, check all the Apple stores within 50 miles, just to see, do you have one? Do you have one? Do you have one? Do you have one? And when it did, it made my phone go bzzzt, and then I immediately call them up and say, that one's mine. So I was able to get 2 of the Apple Pencils back when they were incredibly short supply. I cheated. I am not regretting it.
To use the line that one of the guys at the Valley Fair Apple store said. This was before mine had arrived, and I was in there having something else done. And I asked a comment, and with a completely straight face on the sales floor, he looked at me and says, "No, we don't have any fucking unicorn horns," because that's what they were calling them at the time. And
right glasses.
What's it?
Are those right glasses?
Right glasses.
They are right. Okay.
Yes, square frames.
Okay. There you go. Square
Yes.
frames, all black.
All black, all good.
Thanks for checking, guys.
You guys care about me. I feel special.
The weirdest thing that I saw personally at a convention, personally that I can't. This is a family-friendly channel, so I can't say.
Yeah.
I've seen some stuff.
Yes, we have both observed things. We've been both we've been to convention since the 80s.
Yeah.
I mean, I got started in 1989, so I was right at the end of the 80s, but it was the 80s. This is a terribly mischievous Octavia I'm drawing. Oh.
Yeah, there you go. Sometimes it works out that way. That's actually something, Howell, you may want to take a look at. used iPad Pros are starting to come on the market. They've been the first generation's been out long enough now that some people decided to upgrade or whatever. So the used ones are starting to appear for $400, $500. So say that, and there's a smaller one now that's it's like 10-inch size or something like that.
Yep.
So they're getting more reachable, more affordable, depending upon your definition of affordable.
And it's an incredibly powerful tool.
Yeah.
And while I don't use it a huge amount, I do use it for some art and sketching and everything, but I got a Cintiq for that at home in my studio. It is indispensable for, I'm going to load a whole bunch of images into Dropbox, then I'm going to take this thing over to my drawing table, and then sit down and start working. And I can bring up all my references. Where it used to be in the past, I'd have to lay out all these photographs on and tack them down on a piece of board and then try to keep track of what in the heck I was doing. Now the iPad takes care of it. I got actually a neat little monitor, little iPad thing I can mount and put the thing right by my drawing table.
Yep. Go contact a local food bank. They're they just do a search on Google for that. Get that taken care of. Yeah. So Toxic noticed something recently at conventions. Do you remember when conventions regularly sold alcohol at conventions? That depends on the individual convention. Some still do.
Yep.
It depends on which state you're in and how many lawyers there are. And it also depends on whether you're the convention's insurer, because the first thing that a hotel's going to do is say, show us your insurance policy. We'll cover that or not. As often as not, say if there's a function for that, they'll just have the hotel provide a bartender, and it'll be a cash bar. Of course, room parties, there's plenty of free alcohol, and of course it's illegal to sell alcohol if you don't have a license to do so. But yeah, there's a lot of drinking goes on at some of these conventions. Holy hell, is a lot of drinking. Yeah, some of it's my fault. But yeah, it all depends. It all depends. Let's see. Yeah. Could have been an 80s thing. Well, maybe. But aside from just this is the official sponsored event or something like that. I mean, nobody's ever opened up a liquor store, as it were.
Yeah.
They'll either refer you to the liquor store down the street and say don't make and say go get your booze there. Don't throw up in our room, please. Or they'll set up an event and the hotel will be the one doing the selling directly.
Yep.
Which means they're expensive, but of course they may also be subsidized where behind the scenes you don't see it. The convention is paying the hotel half of the price, so it's just regular bar prices instead of hotel bar prices. Hotel bars can be expensive. Oh yes, they can.
Yes.
You can run up a $150 drink tab just on your own, without anybody else buying anybody else a drink, depending upon the hotel.
Yep.
Orca, I serve it up. Now, at some pony conventions, I will actually host parties, that where I have some semi-pro bartenders come in, and I'll just go down to Beverages and More and do tremendous damage to my credit card, and it'll be a party.
Mm-hmm. Yes, especially if the rabbits are. Okay, so I'm going to want to make sure that is, yeah, okay, yep, okay, and where I'm going with this. That's a good thing.
Toxic Mario because that's a good way to take a fun thing and make it horrible.
Yep.
I actually at one point almost bought a Cold Stone ice creamery franchise, but then I looked at the math and I said this makes no sense. And it's a good way to make a small fortune. All you have to do is start with a large fortune. Yeah, that's a good way to go broke. Say restaurant business and stuff like that, the failure rate is like 90 to 95%, and the margins are razor thin.
Yep. I mean, As it is, I've worked very, very hard to be very, very professional and enjoy myself as an illustrator. But you have to work very, very hard because you can burn out at this so easily. I think one of the biggest things I see fan artists doing that's a mistake is wanting to jump in and start taking commissions too soon. Once they start getting some skill under their belt and they start getting some talent and they start getting an idea and they start getting a name, it's like, don't do it, because for one thing, you're usually not as ready as you think you are, and two, there's a special magic when I can create art that I'm actually proud of, and I can create whatever I want, not what I have to create.
Exactly. Yeah. Again, the definition of a true professional is, say, somebody that can, get up say at 8 in the morning, have their cup of coffee, grumble about life, grumble about how stupid their clients are, then sit down and produce acceptable quality art for 8 hours a day to the customer's specification, on time, every time. That's a professional.
6 days a week.
Yeah, 6 days a week. It's being a professional artist means you only have to work half time, and you get to pick which 12 hours a day it is too.
Yep.
So it's not an easy life. You have to do it because it is your passion.
It's your calling.
Yeah. That being said, if you still think so, then by all means go for it. But
Go in with your eyes open.
and don't necessarily quit that quote day job. Not yet. Not until you are making more money as an artist as you are in your day job.
Yeah.
Then you can do what Baron did and step over the cliff.
Right. And it's, one of these things where there's days when it's the most amazing thing and I consider myself absolutely blessed to do it, and then there's some days where I have to remind myself, this is my job.
Yep.
I actually have that written up on a piece of paper and stuck. I sometimes stick a piece like that on my drawing table. Says, this is my office, this is my job.
Yep.
This is not an annoyance or nuisance, this is my clients expect this of me.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, sometimes you get a client that has saved up for saved their pennies for a year, just to get a relatively kind of small commission in the big scheme of things, but it's a big thing to them.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big thing to them. Let's see.
Now, one of the other things about being a professional is also being able to look a client in the face and say no.
Yeah, you say you get to interview your customers just as much as they're interviewing you, and you don't have to take every job, particularly if it's something that makes you uncomfortable.
Or you just think that for what I'm going to be putting into this with the effort, and I can so you get good after a while of being able to kind of read people and go, okay, no, my spider sense is tingling. And the same way for artists, if you start going, I'm uncertain about this, trust your gut feeling, or if nothing else, ask another artist and say, hey, I've got this client, a potential client. You don't have to be specific or anything like that, but does this just sound wrong to you?
The one thing to remember, on drawing stuff you're not 100% comfortable with is the internet never forgets.
Yep. You don't want to show it to your mom.
The internet's forgotten most of my stuff because it didn't exist when I was doing some of that stuff. So woohoo! But enough about that. Let's see, going down this there. Yeah, Transformers movie. The current one is getting some really bad reviews. Why do people watch it? Because they love the Transformers and they love explosions. And Michael Bay delivers the explosions. Again, they are not making art cinema. They're making explosions that you will pay to go see. How that's true. All it takes is one. All it takes is one.
I'm staying in the focus target area.
I've never been a big Michael Bay fan, myself. But the only movie of that kind that I had fun at was Independence Day. And that was just because it was good, stupid fun.
Yes.
Yeah, Epic Rap Battles of History had him right. Yeah, pretty much.
All right, so we got all the gray, got the purple. Now let's put some browns in on that
Yeah.
thing. I'm looking at 853. Let's see if we can crank through on this bad boy. I put a box down here on the I'm talking to myself.
Yep.
Okay, we need
Yep. Yeah. The thing on Fur Affinity links and stuff like that, that's fine because if you are signed into... The only way to see naughty stuff on Fur Affinity is if you have signed into Fur Affinity and set the bit that says, I want to see the boobies. And so if you go to Fur Affinity and it's naughty and you're not signed in, you won't see it because it will say, it'll say you can't do that.
can't do that thing.
Yeah. Yeah, so NWFS. National Weather Freaking Service.
Not safe for Wuna.
Hey, Cretius.
Hey there.
Yeah. Say, and who in our channel would like to be a professional meteorologist? Which one of you? Yeah, I know which one of you is.
By the way, Cretius, I did really like the Sweetie Belle and the dragon and the wagon piece that you put up recently. That was very, very nicely done.
Oh, Cretius, did you catch another banana spider?
Her and her bugs.
Yeah.
Get bugs.
Yeah. The banana spiders are these big tarantula like this. I don't know if they're actually a tarantula in the tarantula family, but they are poisonous as crap. So they can mess you up. They're called banana spiders because they sometimes shows up in bunches of bananas, and people unload them. They get nibbled on. They have to go see their hospital.
Happy, happy, fun, fun.
Yep. And Toxic has the best collection of little tiny GIF images for use as icons. He's got like 1 billion of them that he dynamically uploads when he needs them.
Oh, that's what I forgot to do. Gotta do that. We'll do that thing. We'll do that
I
thing.
dropped my chip. Where's my chip?
Your chip went over there, man.
Yeah, that's okay there.
Your chip
It's
over-
okay. I got another.
Okay. Hey, boo, 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 boo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't mind spiders and scorpions. I mean, if I can put up with some of my roommates. Anyway, yeah.
All right. So that gets the color blocked in. Oop, don't hang there a second. I gotta do those little knobby things on the thing. And I'm probably gonna get the wrong four of them.
Oh, there's no light.
There we are. There we are. Okay.
Light.
Like I say, we're flying fast. We're flying loose.
See
Okay.
how closely it will focus.
Now comes the fun part. So I've just kind of drawn myself into an artistic corner by doing a gray character, which I have almost no grays to work with.
Oh, there's.
I planned this one out well.
Oh, here's a question.
Uh-huh.
What was the first horror movie you can say that you saw either on purpose or an accident that scarred you badly as a kid? Anything in Baron's own brain he cooks up.
Yeah, I can say that the one I saw was Alien. It was the first rated R movie I saw. I was underage. We snuck into the theater to see it. And I was expecting Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Uh-huh. Not exactly.
Oops.
Yeah, so you had pretty much the same reaction that Yaphet Kotto did when the chest burster did its thing, because
Yeah.
they hadn't told her.
Nope.
They wanted, the only person who knew was the guy that played the guy that had the chest bursting thing.
Yeah.
He knew what was going to happen. I mean, everybody said the script like he's writhing because the thing's inside him and all that, but nobody on the set, or none of the actors except the guy with the chest burster, knew that they were actually going to have it burst out and spray blood everywhere. And the reactions were quite genuine.
Because they were.
But let's see, did any horror movie I saw as a kid scar me, or truly induce nightmares. Well, my mom told me when I was say that she took me to see Snow White when I was like 2.5, 3 years old, and that we'll watch the movie, and then the evil queen turned into the Wicked Witch, and she tells me that my eyes got huge. Then about 5 seconds later, her lap was wet. That's what I'm told. I do not remember pissing on my mom when I saw that, but you know.
Another one that wasn't a horror movie, but it was one of these cases where Mom took me to go see the film, and it was like, oh, that wasn't what I was expecting. Was Warship Down.
Oh, that will mess kids up.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I saw that when I was about 8.
Yeah.
So that was a bit interesting. Now, I've always had actually pretty, even before I saw any of those movies, I actually always had some pretty nasty nightmares. Particularly one that would usually always come when I had the fever, which was particularly kind of evil. It was just like I always would like wake up and I was in a situation where something had happened. I didn't know what the event was that had triggered it, but everybody had lost their face. Basically it was like, one of those department store mannequins where it's just, kind of this featureless thing, except for a few of us who still had our faces, and we were being hunted down by those who did not have faces anymore. And there was these guys were kind of sent out like hunter teams that wore these like black motorcycle jumpsuits and had these black motorcycle helmets with mirrored face, full face shields. And if they caught you, they had this kind of device they'd strap onto your face and would cut your face off.
Oh, very nice.
Blood everywhere.
Oh, very nice.
And when you're like 7 years old and you're having stuff like that,
Yeah. There's an episode of Speed Racer. I think it's called I think it's the Great Alpine Race or the Most Dangerous Race.
Most Dangerous Race.
It's the only 3-parter.
Yeah.
The Great Alpine Race. Against the car acrobatics team and Snake Oiler. Oh, I love the names of the other racers that they had in that.
Cannon fodder.
But there is a scene. Okay, remember, I saw Speed Racer on first run, when it was over to the U.S. That means I was a young lad. I was 6 or 7, and something like that. And there's a scene where Speed Racer gets into a wreck. He's got temporary loss of vision, and he's sort of delirious. And then he turns into this big, pointy-toothed, pointy-chinned demon, with a very sudden, jump scare type reveal. Oh, man, that one. I did not like watching that part of the episode from that part forward. I would just find an excuse to go get a Coke or something like that when I knew that was coming up on the reruns. But, when you're sick, 6 rather, that'll do it.
Yep.
Isn't Octavia's tie pink?
Not
today.
Not today. I'll actually throw some pink in there, which will help even it out. Sometimes with the marker work, you don't have to be right bang on. You just have to be close, and then you can adjust it.
Yep.
And it's more of a kind of a mauve color.
Yep.
And I'm using gray lavender for her because I don't have really any true grays. Whoopsies.
Make her eyes green just to mess with people. It's evil Octavia. That's it. Octavia clone. An imperfect.
Yes. Like the Mirror universe. Kind of like Rocktavia, which I did for a Cold Silver, actually. It's one of his Patreon rewards.
It's a Tenedae. Yeah. Changeling Octi. She plays country music. Yeah, both kinds, country and western.
But wouldn't that be Fiddlesticks or?
Yeah, that's it. Her cousin Fiddlesticks.
Yeah, recolored.
Yeah, the green recolor of Octi with a hat.
Yes.
Taniti. Yeah. Medically significant venom, but they're not aggressive unless provoked. Unless it's a trapdoor spider. Screw trapdoor spiders.
Yes.
Yeah. I used to catch, spiders and scorpions and centipedes and stuff like that, when I was, 10, 12 years old. Turn over rocks, see what lives underneath it. Only got stung once, by a scorpion, and that was one that was clinging to the underside of the rock. I didn't see it until it nailed me. Is there a horror movie you still really can't get through watching? I don't like movies that have gratuitous amounts of, let's see what's inside that person type gore. I've seen real injuries like that, and I do not watch this stuff for entertainment.
Ditto.
Yeah, it just doesn't do anything for me. I mean, psychological horror is great, but gratuitous torture porn, forget it. Just forget it. Yeah.
And like I say, I end up having enough exciting dreams as it is. I don't need any more
Yeah, exactly.
inspirational material.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, let me put it this way: you could probably get H.R. Giger nightmares, but you see that, and in John Carpenter's take on the Thing, when the Thing erupts out of the body of the dead dog, I don't like that because animals shouldn't suffer like that. That was just wrong. Which, of course, was the whole point of that scene.
Yes.
But, it's one of those things that, it pushed my buttons enough, said, I'm not having fun watching this movie anymore.
Yeah.
So, it fell out of the category of, this is creepy and it's scary, but it's entertaining, into the, I'm not paying for this.
Yeah.
We all have the lines that we don't want to have crossed. That one's mine.
Alrighty, so let's do a blend on her and get her kind of rolling in the right direction. And then we'll go back and do our details, but I'm going to have a whole lot of... Now, usually one of the things I would do if I was working on a really serious picture is I'd have like a little scrap piece of paper and I'd put some color pencil down on that, and I would...
use it as a palette.
Yeah, and just kind of prep the brush so that I don't lift a whole lot of the color pencil off when I start. But I don't have that, and this is an ATC, and I'm trying to get this done as quick as possible, so we're going to say play a little bit fast and a little bit loose.
Calls a lighting effect. Did that on purpose. It's a lighting effect.
Oh, I meant to do that.
Some guys back in the Navy had a fascination with faces of death. Well, yeah, again, when you're in the military and you might have to face this someday, it's like, there's always the back of the head that says, maybe I should be at least a little familiar with this. Yeah.
And also, too, there was stuff that I was interested in when I was a kid that, like, now that I'm many years older and I've had to confront some things in my life, it's like, novelty's worn off.
Yeah. Oh, you want a movie to be make you nervous around 18-wheelers? Steven Spielberg one of his very first movies was called The Duel. With Dennis Weaver, was it?
Yes, Dennis Weaver.
Yeah.
Traveling salesman through Central Valley.
Yeah, and that's a good horror film. It's not splattery or anything like that. It's just creepy as hell.
Very, very
The
simple.
Duel, yeah. So go ahead and watch it. See Spielberg when he was still like 21, 22 years old, doing low-budget films to learn his filmmaking chops.
Yeah, the most expensive part of the movie was the very end.
Oh, we're sorry, Pink Pony. Apparently we're being so distracted that Pink Pony's not able to get comic panels done.
Oh, darn. Oopies.
Yeah.
Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah. So show that one to show Duel to Ari Coyote. He probably has it memorized. Fantasized it about cutting me off in traffic. We'll show you. Yeah. And again, there you go. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, there he is. Hey, Ari. Yeah. But admit it. Once in a while, someone will do something stupid on the road, and
Well, besides that,
you'll at least think about it.
besides that, Ari, as it is, had kind of a horror film type job thing. You transporting tanker trucks full of blood.
Yeah, I am a long haul trucker. We are going to go to Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I just always could just imagine all the potential things for some kind of failure on the highway, and like the tank opens up and dumps, and the Texas State Troopers getting these phone calls of, "Oh my God, it's a massacre!"
All right, we'll see you later. We'll see you later, Lord Jaguar. Hope to see you back again.
We do this. Be doing it in 2 weeks. Whistles innocently.
That must be some damn good whistling, let me tell
Yeah.
you. Oh, I see somebody who may be new. Hello, Azure QB. Have you been here before? If
Yeah.
so, welcome back. If not, welcome, welcome.
My name is Baron. I do the art, and Caradwin, here's my on-site tech support.
And I'm going to click this thing right here. You know what it is.
It is that time.
It is that time. And so remind us, say we have a sponsor, that is University Art, a high-end art store and museum-quality framing shop here in San Jose. They also have stores in Redwood City and Sacramento. They have art instruction, they have workshops, they have demonstrations, they have representatives from the manufacturers of the best art supplies in the world will come in and answer questions. And as I mentioned, I won't have my art framed anywhere else. Baron worked there for 20 years, and now they are
Graciously.
very kindly keeping him in art supplies. So we want to say thank you very much to them. Once in a while, they even stop by. That would be Mike and Jeff, and occasionally maybe even Jaya.
Will be on the show next stream.
Yes, we will have something very, very special 2 weeks from now. Be here. Absolutely be here. You're going to see stuff that, is ancient art techniques called encaustics. And Jaya is a recent, become a recent fan of that show that we won't shut up about. And it'll be interesting to see what she does. She is a Luna fan.
She's become a Luna fan. Yes.
That's right. So again, it's artwork that involves blocks of beeswax, pigments, resins, and a blowtorch. Literally a blowtorch. So yeah, we will have the fire extinguisher on hand when she sets Baron on fire.
Good night, McClaw. Sorry your computer's giving you so much trouble tonight.
Better luck next time, sir. I have had entire weeks like that. All right, so thank you again, University Art, and now
Back to the show.
back to the show. Thank you for enduring the commercial. Aha. Click. There we go.
Some black in there. Some black grape in there. Looking at here.
Wicked Octi.
Yes. Okay, I'm only gonna get one more done because it's 9:10 already.
All right, so you're just going to spend a little extra time on this?
Yeah, that's what Lois said.
That's cool.
Get
That's
this
cool.
done.
You can put the strings on the.
Exactly.
Anybody here play WoW or Final Fantasy 14? I've played WoW since it was in closed beta. These days, when they release a major expansion pack, the ones you have to pay for, I will come back in for about 3 months and then get back out. But yeah, I've WoW'd it. My first MMO was Asheron's Call. Okay, well, technically my first MMO was Furry Muck, but that's not really a game-oriented thing. It's social. Because there's some people in the channel who you kind of have to blame for Furry Muck even existing. Isn't that right, Copper Cheetah? I had a wizard bit there for exactly 1 day, mostly to clean up west corner of the park and get rid of all the objects and crap there. Yeah.
So they gave you the leaf blower.
They gave me the leaf blower bit and to do some technical work, and occasionally, when people would get out of hand, sort of like smack up upside the head and say, "Knock that off."
Behave.
Now, the best horror movie, Alien was fantastic for one type of horror.
Mm-hmm.
Hill House, Legend of Hill House with Roddy McDowell
Mm-hmm.
is quite good.
Cabin in the Woods is good.
Let's see, what others really stand out in the horror genre? It's not my primary genre. I'm more of an action adventure kind of guy. Let's see, Legend of Hill House. I always like that. Those are the ones that come to mind. I liked Hill House because it had good psychological horror. It was really low budget, but they nonetheless did a great job of building atmosphere. And they had the plot twist at the end, the reveal was really good. And Roddy McDowell was very good in it. Yeah. So it's just and of course Alien was just the best suspense horror, psychological horror movie ever. It's just masterfully done. There's nothing bad you can say about it. Yeah, Aliens was I view as a different kind of movie. It's much more of an action adventure movie and one of the best of that genre. But I don't really see it in the same genre as Alien.
No, it's a different movie.
Yeah, so it's just completely different flavor. And what's so great about it is that they took the same property, the same story, just extended story, made it into a completely different genre, and it worked. You know, it's a story in a setting that could work almost anywhere. Then of course then they messed it up with a bunch of other junk, but sequelitis.
But yeah, and of course, Aliens was very influential. I mean, heck, I had a whole dream that I'm doing some stuff on Patreon about.
Yeah. That's right. You should go see Creature's Table at EQLA. Just saying. That's in November, a couple of weekends before Thanksgiving, if I remember right. I think I will go. I've always had fun at EQLA. They do a good show.
Okay, another one that was a good for psychological is I liked Silence of the Lambs.
That was okay.
Anthony Hopkins did a very good job as Hannibal.
Let's see. The Prophecy with Christopher Walken. That's not really a horror film.
No, but it was very good.
Yeah. Oh, the sequel was astonishingly bad, but I liked the premise, and of course it's Christopher Walken, and I adore anything Christopher Walken does.
And of course it had Aragorn.
Viggo Mortensen as Satan.
Yes. And he was
great. And he made a tasty Satan. I say Lucifer. Now, again, if you haven't seen The Prophecy, do see it. Don't want to give away too much about what's going on because the reveal is part of it, but yeah, it's got some very tasty acting and an interesting premise.
Okay, Pink Pony. To answer your question, sorry if this sounds evasive, but the answer is going to be it depends. Sometimes there is a mistake and you can incorporate it and you can make it, all kind of fit in and look like you meant to do that. There are some times when you have mistakes where there is no good way to recover from it. The piece I did for him, on big complicated pieces, I will very often, before I actually start on the final picture, of course I'll do my development sketches, I'll do my color thumbnails and everything, but what I'll also do is I will take, now I do it in the computer, but I used to do it on paper by hand, and I will write out every step that I can think of that's going to have to happen and the sequence that they're going to have to occur in the piece, because sometimes you just can't back up. And the problem will be, especially if you've already committed 12 to 15 hours into the picture, you don't want to have ubu happen. When I was doing the Celestia piece, I had to go to great pains to keep her isolated and clean, but I had to blend right up to the edges. So there was an awful lot of thinking about which direction was the blend going to occur, and okay, what's going to have to happen? How much of pigment do I have to have preloaded into that area before I even start, just to make certain that I could blend right up to the very edge of that character and keep her pristine and white. As it was, the indigo ink, or indigo blue color pencil I was using, even after it technically had dried, if I put my hand down and picked it back up again, I could end up with little tiny bits of the blue pigment on my hand. If I put it down on Celestia, I would have transferred it over to that area. And even the trees and tracing paper, I had some times when I had to stop and go back in and clean up Celestia because she was just picking up little tiny bits of indigo blue. And if I had left that there and then gone in and done the final color blends on her, because she's actually very, very light pink, it would have been completely ruined. And so before I started on her, I took all my brushes and I went through and I cleaned them thoroughly. I went through soap and everything and washed them, cleaned them, dried them and everything before I started on the final thing. And that, sometimes you have to think it through. Sometimes you go, okay, I can roll with this and make this work. Sometimes you can't. I had a picture I did back in the 80s for a magazine where I had this big robotic samurai character sitting on this pile of wreckage and skulls and everything, and there's this big mechanical dragon behind him, and he's got this ginormous, katana sword. And I was using a different brand of markers at the time, and I went through and blocked in my marker where lots of black. He had this black shiny lacquered armor. And I went through and I did my initial color and said, okay, that's all good. It's gonna take about 45 minutes to set. I'm gonna go do my lunch. Came back, and during the time it happened, the black from his armor had seeped into the edge of the sword, my beautiful sword edge. And I looked at this, and I went, I don't want to start over. I got a deadline. I gotta get this thing done, and I'm already about 18 hours into this, and I went, oh, wait a minute. This is an ancient. He's been fighting for centuries to defend this hill and everything. I can go in with my paint, and I can go in and just touch that edge, and what I can make it look like is the jaggedy edge of a blade, where he's chopped armor and he's destroyed tanks and everything like that. And this, I meant to do that. And my art director said, that's really, really cool how you did that. The edges looks all like he's been fighting all these battles and everything's going, yeah, it looks really awesome. Sometimes you can recover. Sometimes you can't.
There we go.
Hey, Ardell.
Let's see. Zumi says Nim is the impetus for journey into art. I got to meet Phyla Barnhart, who is the character lead animator on Mrs. Brisby herself, and Toby Bluth, Don Bluth's kid, who also worked on it. And it really was a labor of love for them. Phyla Barnhart, it was just so in love with Mrs. Brisby and Justin and the relationship between those two. He shipped them. Oh, he shipped the hell out of them. I've got art buried somewhere of him shipping the two out of those, out of those two. But yeah, that was they were very passionate about that film.
Yeah, there's a piece of artwork that shows up in I think we still use it in the creds, the one approaching storm the Luftwaffe picture.
Yes.
Yeah. Before I started on the final colors with that, because I had to go through
Hi, Ardale.
and do some pretty extensive development work. I had to do a lot of historical research and everything, make sure I had the clothing correctly and the model of aircraft correctly, and what kind of vehicles were we going to have on the airfield, and in 1944 did they have those? What defense of the Reich era was he going to be? So what did the towns and communities look like in the area, and what did the weather look like at that time period? All the color studies, camo studies, and I did about 50 sketches before I even started on the final piece. So sometimes that some pieces you can roll with it, and some pieces. Nope, you gotta sweat all the details first before you start, because there's just no going back. Another sample of a screw-up I did, which I didn't even realize I had done, and there was no good way to recover. Back in the early 90s, I did a cover for a steampunk magazine, back when steampunk was a new thing. And this is an example of why I always talk about do your homework, and if you have references, it's always good to have multiple sources. The piece I called it Britannia Gambit, and I had this picture of this guy in this large overcoat with a top hat and everything like that, and there is this rocket ship XM style, V2 rocket blasting off behind him with the Parliament building in the background. And the main thing of the entire background was this Union Jack. And I got a hold of I found another artist who had done a picture of the Union Jack. And I said, perfect, great. It's nice, large, easy to look at. I'm just going to use that as my reference. Bam, go, let's get to work. I did not realize that he had done the flag wrong. And I recreated the mistake. This big 30-inch by 20-some-odd inch piece of artwork I did, and the Union Jack is a huge part of the background, and I botched it. And the only time I found out that there was something wrong, because not even my art director spotted it, was they had the cover was supposed to be printed in Canada, of all places. And I got,
They notice stuff like that.
and I got a note in the mail saying, "Awesome piece of artwork.
Oh, by the way, old fellow."
You do realize you clearly bollocksed the Union Jack." And I went, alternate history.
Yeah.
that was our excuse. It was alternate history, but I was like, no, I blew it.
Well, hello, Maya Germ. Maya Germ actually had a couple questions about the who is apparently new here.
Uh-huh.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Again, he's using Prismacolor pencils and is using, mineral spirits, Gamasol, to dissolve the wax and then do things with the pigments that are left behind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what is he doing that too, or is that what he asking?
Well, no, that's what Maya Germ was asking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and welcome to you. I don't think you've been here before, but you are very welcome here.
Yes, we got about another 6 minutes here to work on this bad boy, and then we're gonna be calling it quits and having dinner.
Yeah.
This has been lots of fun because I've been doing a gray character and I don't have any grays, so I've been having to be kind of creative on how
You're building your gray.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Pinks and purples.
And somebody else new. I think Kind of Lame is new. Hello, Mr. Kind of Lame.
Yeah, we're wrapping up here in just a little bit, but thank you for dropping by. We'll be doing this again in 2 weeks.
Absolutely.
In 2 weeks, we're doing something amazing.
Yeah, in 2 weeks we're going to have Jaya King on, who works in a art style called Encaustics. Again, it's another, wax and pigments based art style.
The original.
Yeah, exactly. It goes back millennia, literally. Some of the Egyptian tomb paintings are done in this style, and she has recently become a fan of Luna from the My Little Pony show. So she's going to do us a Luna.
Yep.
It's going to involve a blowtorch.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm glad my insurance is paid up on my house.
Also, hopefully it'll be a nice, cool weekend. Yeah, it was dinner tonight anyways.
Ryan is doing about half a dozen different kinds, or half a dozen, 3 or 4 different types of summer salads, including I think he's doing a Caesar the right way. As in raw eggs and anchovies.
Yay! Me love.
He's doing. He made homemade mayonnaise to do as a basis for, I believe, a macaroni salad.
Of course, be proud of him.
And a couple. Oh, exactly. Well, that's what he asked me. What do you want? I said. And he said, "Oh, I can do that. With mayonnaise." Another filming will be inside. I have a den downstairs that will be, setting up in. It's actually going to be logistically interesting because there's going to be a second computer. We're going to be bouncing the stream back and forth, between the two. Jaya's actually going to be doing her segment. We have 4 one-hour segments on the show, and she's going to be doing segments 2 and 3.
Mm-hmm. And I'll be downstairs playing Ed McMahon for her and asking her questions and hopefully answering stuff in the...
Well, depending upon how detailed, the work is, I mean, she can take, 30, 40 hours, or she can do, or if it's, a little bit more abstract, she can belt one out in an hour.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what she's going to be doing. She's also a very good traditional artist. I have a link here to Jaya King, next week's guest. Control V. No, that's not it. That's Ornate Celestia. That's okay. Let's do this. Joker process Jaya King. And the first hit is there, which is correct. I very strongly encourage you to, at the very least, bookmark it and view it later. It is fascinating. She did the drawing underneath as well. She is just an amazing artist. One of Baron's former co-workers too.
Yes, at University. What can you zoom the camera back a little bit?
Okay, I can do that. I can go over here and I can say drawing cam, and I can say configure video, and then I will do that. And you can slide them down just very. Actually, let me see if I can do this. I can go there. Save. Okay. That's what Baron did do tonight.
Yep.
He did it.
I cranked all those guys out in 4 hours. Now, so any of you who are going to be possibly showing up at BaronEngel, I said this earlier in the stream, I'm going to say it again. If you create an artist trading card, you don't have to be at this level, but put some effort into it. You put some love, something I'm going to want to trade with you. You show up at BaronEngel with a card, and we'll do some horse trading.
As it were.
As it was, and hopefully I'm hoping to bring back some really cool artist trading cards that other artists and fans and whatnot have done. I'll be putting this out also on my DeviantArt and putting this information out on my Twitter and everything. So I'm hoping some folks will show up at the Clear Skies Roan RPG table, which is where I'm going to be at, and we'll like I said, do some trading for it. Yeah, Roan, yes, yeah. This is the Roan RPG. This is, of course, my cover art I did for it and everything. It's a wonderful pony role-playing game, not Equestria, and you can actually.
There we go.
All right, so folks, I want to thank you all. We had a great stream tonight. And we have someone who has Crazy Matt Captain has played Roan. I'm glad you're enjoying the game.
Yeah, it's. As I played a game that Clear Skies ran at BabsCon, and it was so much fun that I'm actually thinking about doing a setting book, sort of a mini campaign book for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I might get this Mook to do the illustrations. We'll see.
Yeah, and guess what? If they were obviously stick figures that someone really put some time and effort into, everybody, you start somewhere. Everyone's a beginner at some point, and I'm going to take these back along with some other ones to encourage folks. I want them to do art. I mean, I know there's a lot of folks actually, when they watch these streams, they actually sit around, they sketch and everything like that themselves. That's great. That's part of my mission statement, for lack of a better word, is drawing should not be some strange, magical, mystical, impossible thing that the average person can do. Anybody can do this, man. Anybody. So, if you have me at BaronEngel, come talk to me. Show me what you got.
Absolutely.
We'll see if we can trade.
Come on.
Come on, I dare ya. So, I want to, before we say goodbye and call tonight, I want to thank all my patrons again on Patreon. Like I say, once again, I couldn't make this happen without your guys' help and support. $1 a month makes a big difference. If you're new, there's a link down there in the little box. If you want to find out more what I'm doing, I've got a DeviantArt. There should be a link down there too. And you want to find out what I'm doing on a daily basis. You want to see how I'm sometimes working in the studio. Because one thing I've gotten in the habit of doing is, as I'm working on pictures, I'll take photos of my camera and I'll start basically putting these up on Twitter, and I'll start talking about the process. So if you want to get an idea what I'm actually doing with my art, follow me on Twitter.
Yep. Box Goods, that's the whole point of artist trading cards, is they are trading cards,
Yes.
not paying
Yeah.
cards.
Mhm.
That's the point. We'll have to get it. I will get him the lime green one. It's
Yeah.
it's the color of like Gatorade or coolant that's gone bad.
Yeah, basically a cross between ectoplasm and Gatorade.
Yeah. All right, folks. Well, we will see you then in 2 weeks. Thank you very much for being with us.
Yep.
And
Yep.
stay cool and don't barbecue the way that we have.
Yeah.
It's not recommended.
And like I say, if you're following me on DeviantArt and everything, the next day or so, I'm going to be putting up some links to some art stuff that Jaya has done, so you folks can find stuff out. Good night, folks.
Mwah. Good night, everybody.
Yeah.